Welcome to the fascinating world of space and the universe. In this live stream, we're going to explore over 200 mind-blowing facts about space, one of the most intriguing and mysterious subjects that captivates scientists and curious minds alike. Whether you're a seasoned space enthusiast or someone who's just starting to explore the cosmos, this video will guide you through the astonishing wonders of the universe. The universe is vast, complex, and endlessly fascinating. Every year, new discoveries are made that change the way we understand our place in the cosmos. We'll be diving deep into topics such as black holes, the birth and death of stars, exoplanets, and even what life beyond Earth might look like. These facts are not only scientifically accurate but are also guaranteed to make you question everything you know about space. Why is this important? Well, space exploration not only helps us understand where we come from, but it also pushes the boundaries of human knowledge and technology. Every piece of data we gather from the universe has the potential to reshape our future. By understanding space, we can develop new technologies, protect our planet from cosmic threats, and perhaps one day, find new places for humanity to live. This live stream is designed to be engaging, educational, and enjoyable, no matter when you join. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be amazed by the mind-boggling realities of the universe. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive straight into some of the most astonishing and eye-opening facts about space and the universe. To truly appreciate the scale and mystery of the universe, it's important to understand just how vast and incredible it is. These key insights will offer an overview of some of the most mind-blowing discoveries and scientific observations that continue to leave us in awe. Fact 1. The universe is expanding at an accelerating rate. The universe is not just expanding, it's doing so at an ever-increasing rate. This was a revolutionary discovery made in 1998 when astronomers observed distant supernovae and noticed that galaxies were moving away from us faster than previously expected. The force driving this accelerated expansion is known as dark energy, which makes up about 68% of the universe. Scientists still don't fully understand what dark energy is, but its effects are undeniable. As galaxies move apart faster and faster, the structure of the universe continues to evolve in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. This expansion has deep implications for the future of the cosmos, as it could lead to a scenario known as the Big Freeze, where galaxies, stars, and eventually atoms become too far apart to interact. The accelerating universe remains one of the greatest mysteries in cosmology today, constantly reshaping how we view the universe's future. Fact 2. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on Earth. When you imagine all the grains of sand on Earth, from every beach and desert, you might think that such an enormous number would be hard to surpass. However, scientists estimate that there are far more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on Earth. To break it down, Earth has about 7.5 quintillion grains of sand, that's a 7 followed by 18 zeros. On the other hand, astronomers believe there are around 1 sextillion stars in the observable universe, a 1 followed by 21 zeros. This number comes from estimating that the universe contains about 100 billion galaxies, with each galaxy housing 100 to 400 billion stars. The enormity of this comparison illustrates the unfathomable scale of the universe and how small Earth, and all its sand, is in relation to the cosmos. Despite the immense number of stars, we can only see a tiny fraction with the naked eye. Fact 3. Light from the Sun takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. The immense distance between Earth and the Sun, about 150 million kilometers, means that even light, traveling at the fastest possible speed, takes time to reach us. Light moves at an astonishing speed of 300,000 kilometers per second, but despite that velocity, it still takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for sunlight to make its journey to Earth. This delay means that when you look at the Sun, you're actually seeing it as it was over 8 minutes ago. What's fascinating is that this applies to all the stars in the universe. For instance, the light from Proxima Centauri, the nearest star beyond our solar system, takes 4.24 years to reach us. Essentially, when we look at distant stars or galaxies, we are looking back in time. This delay in light travel time allows astronomers to study the history of the universe by observing celestial objects as they were millions or even billions of years ago, giving us glimpses of the universe's past. The fact that light carries information across such vast distances shows just how expansive and interconnected the cosmos is. Fact 4, the Milky Way galaxy is on a collision course with Andromeda. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, isn't static. In fact, it's moving toward a dramatic collision with the nearby Andromeda Galaxy, located about 2.5 million light-years away. While this might sound alarming, the collision won't happen for another 4.5 billion years. Both galaxies are part of a group of galaxies called the local group, which is gravitationally bound, meaning they influence each other's movements. When the Milky Way and Andromeda finally collide, it won't be a violent crash of stars. Due to the vast distances between stars, most will pass by each other without direct collisions. However, the gravitational forces will warp both galaxies, and over millions of years, they will merge to form a new galaxy, often referred to as Milkomeda by astronomers. This future event provides a fascinating glimpse into the long-term evolution of galaxies and the ever-changing nature of the cosmos. Fact 5. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. One of the most fascinating quirks about Venus is its unusual rotation. Venus rotates so slowly on its axis that a single day on the planet, one full rotation, takes about 243 Earth days. In contrast, its orbit around the Sun takes only 225 Earth days, which means a year on Venus is shorter than a day. To add to the strangeness, Venus rotates in the opposite direction to most planets in our solar system, including Earth. This retrograde rotation means that if you were standing on the surface of Venus, you would see the sun rise in the west and set in the east. Scientists believe that this odd rotation could be the result of a collision with another celestial body early in Venus's formation. This slow, backward spin makes Venus one of the most peculiar planets in the solar system, and it continues to puzzle astronomers. Fact 6. Black holes can slow down time. Black holes are one of the most mysterious and fascinating objects in the universe. One of the mind-bending effects they have on the fabric of space-time is the ability to slow down time. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, the immense gravitational pull of a black hole is so strong that it warps space and time around it. As objects move closer to the event horizon, the point of no return, the gravitational pull becomes extreme, causing time to slow down relative to an outside observer. If you were watching someone approach a black hole, their movements would appear to slow down as they neared the event horizon, even though for them, time would seem to be moving normally. This phenomenon is called gravitational time dilation and is a powerful demonstration of how gravity can influence the flow of time, fundamentally altering our understanding of the universe's laws. Fact 7. Neutron stars are incredibly dense. When a massive star collapses at the end of its life cycle, it can leave behind a neutron star, one of the densest objects in the universe. Neutron stars are so dense that a single teaspoon of their material would weigh about 6 billion tons on Earth. This happens because the core of the star compresses, forcing protons and electrons to merge into neutrons, creating an object packed with an incredible amount of mass in a very small space. Neutron stars typically have a radius of only about 10 to 12 kilometers, but they contain more mass than the Sun. Despite their small size, their gravitational pull is extreme, and they rotate incredibly fast, sometimes hundreds of times per second. These rapidly spinning neutron stars are called pulsars and emit beams of radiation detectable on Earth, making them some of the most fascinating objects to study in astronomy. Fact 8. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. Despite Mercury being the closest planet to the Sun, Venus holds the title for the hottest planet in the solar system. Its surface temperature reaches an astonishing 465 degrees Celsius, 869 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. This extreme heat is due to Venus's thick atmosphere, which is primarily composed of carbon dioxide. This creates a runaway greenhouse effect, trapping heat from the Sun and causing surface temperatures to soar. The thick layer of sulfuric acid clouds adds to this effect, reflecting sunlight and further insulating the planet. Interestingly, Venus's atmosphere is so dense that the pressure on its surface is 90 times greater than Earth's, equivalent to being about 900 meters underwater on Earth. This combination of heat and pressure makes Venus one of the most inhospitable planets in the solar system, despite being similar in size and composition to Earth, earning it the nickname Earth's evil twin. Fact 9. Jupiter has the most powerful magnetic field in the solar system. Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, also boasts the most powerful magnetic field. Its magnetic field is about 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. This immense field is generated by the movement of electrically charged particles in Jupiter's liquid metallic hydrogen core. It creates an enormous magnetosphere that extends up to 3 million kilometers toward the Sun and as far as 600 million kilometers in the opposite direction, almost reaching Saturn. Jupiter's strong magnetic field traps charged particles from the solar wind, creating intense radiation belts around the planet. These radiation belts are so strong that they could damage spacecraft and are hazardous for humans. Jupiter's magnetic field also produces stunning auroras at its poles, similar to Earth's northern and southern lights, but far more powerful. This giant magnetosphere protects the planet and its moons from cosmic radiation, making it a fascinating subject for scientists. Fact 10. Saturn's rings are younger than the planet itself. Saturn's stunning ring system is one of the most iconic features in the solar system, but these rings are much younger than the planet itself. While Saturn is about 4.5 billion years old, scientists estimate that its rings formed only 100 to 200 million years ago, around the time when dinosaurs roamed Earth. The rings are made up of countless particles of ice and rock, ranging in size from tiny grains to boulders. These particles are thought to be the remnants of a destroyed moon or comet that came too close to Saturn and was torn apart by the planet's immense gravitational forces. The rings span about 280,000 kilometers across but are incredibly thin, only about 10 meters thick in most places. Over time, the material in the rings will gradually fall into Saturn, meaning that these beautiful rings may eventually disappear in the distant future. Fact 11. Mars has the tallest volcano in the solar system. Mars, often called the Red Planet, is home to Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the entire solar system. Standing at an incredible 22 kilometers, 13.6 miles, high, Olympus Mons is nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest. What makes it even more astonishing is its sheer size. It spans approximately 600 kilometers, 373 miles, across, covering an area roughly equivalent to the size of the state of Arizona. Olympus Mons is a shield volcano, meaning it has gentle slopes formed by the gradual accumulation of lava flows over millions of years. Scientists believe that Mars's lower gravity and lack of tectonic plate movement allowed Olympus Mons to grow to such immense proportions. Despite being dormant, the volcano could have been active as recently as a few million years ago, making it a relatively young feature in Martian geological history. Fact 12. There are more than 200 moons in our solar system. Our solar system is not just home to planets and asteroids, but also to over 200 moons orbiting the planets. These moons vary widely in size, composition, and geological activity. While Earth's moon is the 5th largest in the solar system, Ganymede, a moon of Jupiter, takes the top spot as the largest. Ganymede is even bigger than the planet Mercury, measuring about 5,268 kilometers, 3,273 miles, in diameter. Saturn's moon Titan is another giant, known for its thick atmosphere and lakes of liquid methane. Some moons, like Io, a moon of Jupiter, are geologically active, with massive volcanic eruptions. Others, like Neptune's moon Triton, are icy worlds with geysers spewing nitrogen gas. These moons offer valuable clues about the formation of the solar system and are fascinating targets for future space exploration, with many scientists considering them potential habitats for life. Fact 13. The Sun makes up 99.86% of the solar system's mass. The Sun, our solar system's central star, is by far the most dominant object in terms of mass. It contains a staggering 99.86% of all the mass in the solar system. This means that all the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets combined make up only a tiny fraction of the solar system's total mass. The Sun's mass is around 330,000 times that of Earth and about 1.989 times 10 to the 30 kilograms. This enormous mass generates a powerful gravitational pull that keeps the planets, moons, and other celestial bodies in orbit. The Sun's mass also fuels nuclear fusion in its core, where hydrogen atoms are fused into helium, producing the energy that powers the Sun's light and heat. This fusion process has been occurring for about 4.6 billion years and is expected to continue for another 5 billion years before the Sun eventually becomes a red giant. Fact 14. The Great Red Spot on Jupiter is a giant storm. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is one of the most iconic features in the solar system, and it's essentially a gigantic storm that has been raging for over 350 years. This massive storm is so large that it could fit 3 Earths inside it, measuring about 16,350 kilometers, 10,159 miles, across. The Great Red Spot is a high-pressure region in Jupiter's atmosphere, where winds swirl at speeds of up to 432 kilometers per hour, 268 miles per hour. What makes it even more fascinating is its longevity. Scientists have been observing this storm for centuries, and while it appears to be slowly shrinking, it's still incredibly powerful. The exact cause of its reddish color remains a mystery, though it is thought to be a combination of chemicals reacting to sunlight in Jupiter's upper atmosphere. Despite being a storm, it has remained stable for centuries, making it a subject of great interest for scientists studying planetary atmospheres. Fact 15. The largest volcano in the solar system is on Mars. Mars is home to Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system. Rising an astonishing 22 kilometers, 13.6 miles, high, it dwarfs Earth's Mount Everest, which is only 8.8 kilometers, 5.5 miles, tall. Olympus Mons is a shield volcano, meaning it has a broad, dome-like shape created by the slow flow of lava over millions of years. Its base stretches 600 kilometers, 373 miles, making it wider than the entire state of Arizona. What's even more remarkable is that Olympus Mons may still be an active volcano, though its last eruption occurred millions of years ago. The lower gravity on Mars and the lack of tectonic plate movement allowed the volcano to grow to such colossal dimensions. Studying Olympus Mons gives scientists insights into both the volcanic activity of Mars and the geological history of the planet itself. Fact 16. The Moon is slowly moving away from Earth. The Moon, Earth's only natural satellite, is slowly drifting away from our planet. This might seem like a slow and subtle process, but it's quite significant in the long run. The Moon moves about 3.8 centimeters, 1.5 inches, away from Earth each year. This is due to the gravitational interactions between Earth and the Moon, specifically the tidal forces that Earth's oceans exert on the Moon. These forces gradually transfer Earth's rotational energy to the Moon, pushing it into a slightly higher orbit. Over billions of years, this gradual drift will lead to the Moon being much farther from Earth than it is now. The increasing distance between Earth and the Moon also affects phenomena such as solar eclipses. Eventually, the Moon will appear too small to completely cover the Sun, meaning total eclipses will no longer occur. The relationship between Earth and the Moon continues to evolve as time goes on. Fact 17. A day on Venus is longer than its year. Venus, the second planet from the Sun, has an incredibly slow rotation. It takes 243 Earth days for Venus to complete one full rotation on its axis, which means a day on Venus is longer than a year. In contrast, it takes only 225 Earth days for Venus to complete its orbit around the Sun. This peculiar rotation is not only slow but also retrograde, meaning Venus rotates in the opposite direction to most planets, including Earth. If you stood on Venus, you would see the Sun rise in the west and set in the east. Scientists believe that this unusual rotation might be the result of a collision with a massive celestial body in Venus's early history. The planet's thick atmosphere and extreme surface conditions make it a hostile environment, but its slow rotation remains one of its most fascinating characteristics, challenging our expectations of planetary motion. Fact 18. There is a gigantic cloud of water in space. One of the most surprising discoveries in space is the existence of a massive cloud of water vapor, located around 12 billion light-years from Earth. This water cloud surrounds a quasar, an extremely luminous and energetic object powered by a black hole. The cloud holds at least 140 trillion times the amount of water found in all of Earth's oceans combined, making it the largest known reservoir of water in the universe. Scientists believe this water vapor is part of the quasar's process of feeding its black hole and may play a role in star formation within the surrounding galaxy. The discovery of such an immense amount of water so far away provides evidence that water, an essential ingredient for life, has been present in the universe for much longer than we once thought. This finding adds another fascinating layer to our understanding of the cosmos and its potential for hosting life. Fact 19. Pluto has a heart-shaped glacier. Pluto, once considered the 9th planet of our solar system, has a remarkable heart-shaped feature on its surface called Tombaugh Regio. This region, named after Clyde Tombaugh, the astronomer who discovered Pluto, is dominated by a massive glacier made primarily of nitrogen ice. The heart-shaped feature is about 1,600 kilometers, 1,000 miles, wide and has intrigued scientists ever since NASA's New Horizons spacecraft captured detailed images of it in 2015. What makes this glacier even more fascinating is that it's constantly renewing itself, showing signs of active geology despite Pluto's extremely cold surface, where temperatures drop to 240 degrees Celsius, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. The smooth, icy plains of the glacier suggest that the surface is relatively young, meaning it's likely being reshaped by processes scientists are still trying to understand. Tombaugh Regio provides insight into the dynamic nature of even the smallest and most distant bodies in our solar system. Fact 20, Saturn could float on water. Saturn, the second largest planet in our solar system, is known for its stunning rings, but did you know it's also so low in density that it could float in water? Saturn's density is just 0.687 grams per cubic centimeter, which is less than the density of water, 1 gram per cubic centimeter. This means that if you could find a body of water large enough, Saturn would actually float. The reason for this is that Saturn is composed mostly of hydrogen and helium, making it incredibly light relative to its size. While Saturn is massive, more than 95 times the mass of Earth, its low density makes it the least dense of all the planets in the solar system. This unique characteristic highlights just how different gas giants are compared to the rocky planets like Earth, emphasizing the diversity of planetary formation in the cosmos. Fact 21, the largest canyon in the solar system is on Mars. Mars is home to the largest canyon in the solar system, Val Marineris, a vast system of canyons that stretches over 4,000 kilometers, 2,500 miles, long, which is about the same distance as the width of the continental United States. Val Marineris is also incredibly deep, plunging as much as 7 kilometers, 4.3 miles, in some places, which is over 3 times the depth of Earth's Grand Canyon. Scientists believe this massive canyon was formed by the tectonic forces that shaped the Martian surface, possibly along with volcanic activity, erosion, and landslides over millions of years. Its sheer size and complexity make Val Marineris a prime location for studying Mars' geological history, offering clues about the planet's ancient past, including the potential for water having once flowed through the canyons. This makes it one of the most exciting places in the solar system for future exploration. Fact 22, Mercury has extreme temperature swings. Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, experiences some of the most dramatic temperature changes in the solar system. Because Mercury has virtually no atmosphere to trap heat, its surface temperatures can swing between extreme highs and lows. During the day, the temperature can soar to an incredible 430 degrees Celsius, 800 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the hottest places in the solar system. However, when night falls, without an atmosphere to retain heat, the temperature plummets to a frigid 180 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit. These massive temperature fluctuations occur because Mercury rotates very slowly on its axis, with one full rotation taking about 59 Earth days. As a result, one side of Mercury faces the Sun for long periods, while the other side remains in darkness. This stark difference in temperature makes Mercury a fascinating study in how planetary atmospheres, or the lack thereof, impact a planet's environment. Fact 23, Uranus rotates on its side. Uranus is unique among the planets in our solar system because it rotates on its side. Unlike other planets, which rotate upright or slightly tilted, Uranus has a tilt of 98 degrees, making it appear to spin horizontally. This extreme tilt means that Uranus essentially rolls around the Sun on its side. As a result, each of Uranus's poles spends 42 years in continuous sunlight, followed by 42 years of darkness. Scientists believe this unusual rotation was likely caused by a massive collision with another celestial object early in the planet's formation. The tilt also causes extreme seasonal variations, with the planet's atmosphere experiencing dramatic changes over long periods. Despite being far from the Sun, Uranus has a complex weather system, with wind speeds reaching up to 900 km per hour, 560 miles per hour, making its sideways rotation even more intriguing. Fact 24, Neptune has supersonic winds. Neptune, the eighth and farthest planet from the Sun, is known for having the fastest winds in the solar system. Winds on Neptune can reach staggering speeds of up to 2,100 km per hour, 1,300 miles per hour, which is faster than the speed of sound on Earth. These supersonic winds occur in Neptune's upper atmosphere, where the gases swirl rapidly in massive storms. The exact cause of these incredibly high wind speeds remains a mystery to scientists. Neptune's atmosphere is primarily composed of hydrogen, helium, and methane, and it's the methane that gives the planet its distinctive blue color. The cold temperatures on Neptune, which average around 214 degrees Celsius, 353 degrees Fahrenheit, combined with its distant location from the Sun, make these powerful winds even more puzzling. Neptune's extreme weather systems, including massive dark storm systems, continue to fascinate scientists and astronomers alike. Fact 25. Earth's atmosphere extends far beyond the Moon. Most people think of Earth's atmosphere as a relatively thin layer surrounding the planet, but recent studies have shown that it extends much farther than previously thought, reaching distances as far as 630,000 kilometers, 391,000 miles, well beyond the orbit of the Moon. This outermost part of the atmosphere is called the geocorona, where sparse hydrogen atoms are present even at such vast distances from the planet. The geocorona is faint, but it was detected by instruments aboard spacecraft like NASA's SOHO observatory, which captured ultraviolet light reflecting off these hydrogen atoms. Despite its far reach, the density of particles in this region is so low that it poses no threat to spacecraft or astronauts. The discovery highlights just how interconnected space and Earth's atmosphere, even at distances once thought to be the realm of deep space. Fact 26. A year on Mercury is just 88 days long. Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, has the shortest orbital period of any planet in our solar system. A year on Mercury, its complete orbit around the Sun, takes just 88 Earth days. This rapid orbit is due to its proximity to the Sun, which means it has a much stronger gravitational pull and shorter distance to cover. However, despite its short year, a single day on Mercury, one full rotation on its axis, takes 59 Earth days, meaning that Mercury's day is nearly as long as its year. This slow rotation combined with its fast orbit creates unusual patterns of sunlight. On some parts of the planet, the Sun appears to rise, set, and then rise again in the same day. These extreme differences in day length and year duration make Mercury one of the most fascinating planets to study in our solar system. Fact 27. Saturn has 83 moons. The most in the solar system. Saturn is not only famous for its beautiful rings but also for the impressive number of moons it has. As of recent counts, Saturn has 83 confirmed moons, the most of any planet in the solar system. These moons vary in size from small, irregularly shaped chunks of ice and rock to larger moons like Titan, which is Saturn's largest moon and the second largest in the solar system. Titan is especially fascinating because it has a thick atmosphere and liquid methane lakes, making it one of the prime targets in the search for extraterrestrial life. Another moon, Enceladus, has geysers that spew water vapor into space, suggesting the possibility of an ocean beneath its icy crust. These moons offer diverse environments and play an important role in shaping Saturn's ring system. The sheer number and variety of Saturn's moons make it one of the most interesting planetary systems to explore. Fact 28. The Kuiper Belt is home to dwarf planets and frozen objects. Beyond Neptune lies a vast region of space known as the Kuiper Belt, which is home to a collection of icy bodies, dwarf planets, and comets. This region is similar to the asteroid belt but much larger, extending from about 30 to 55 astronomical units from the Sun. The Kuiper Belt contains thousands of small icy objects and is believed to be the source of many comets that periodically visit the inner solar system. One of the most famous inhabitants of the Kuiper Belt is Pluto, which was reclassified as a dwarf planet in 2006. Other notable objects include Haumea, Makemake, and Eris, each of which shares similarities with Pluto. The Kuiper Belt is also thought to contain leftover material from the early formation of the solar system, making it a region of great interest for scientists studying planetary evolution and the origins of the solar system. Fact 29. The Oort cloud is the most distant region of our solar system. The Oort cloud is an enormous, spherical shell of icy objects that surrounds the solar system at a distance ranging from about 2,000 to 100,000 astronomical units, from the Sun. This distant region is believed to be the source of long-period comets, those that take more than 200 years to orbit the Sun. Unlike the Kuiper Belt, which lies in the same plane as the planets, the Oort cloud forms a vast bubble around the solar system. It is so far away that no spacecraft has ever ventured close to it, and it remains largely theoretical, based on observations of comets and computer models. The objects in the Oort cloud are thought to be remnants from the early solar system, ejected outward by gravitational interactions with the giant planets. The sheer distance and mysterious nature of the Oort cloud make it one of the least understood regions of our cosmic neighborhood. Fact 30. The solar system takes 230 million years to orbit the Milky Way while the planets in our solar system orbit the Sun. The entire solar system itself is also moving through space, orbiting the center of the Milky Way galaxy. This complete orbit, often called a galactic year or cosmic year, takes approximately 230 million Earth years. During this time, our solar system moves at a speed of about 828,000 km per hour, 514,000 miles per hour. Despite this incredible speed, the vast distance we need to travel to complete one full orbit around the galactic center means it takes hundreds of millions of years. In fact, the last time our solar system was in its current position in the galaxy, dinosaurs roamed the Earth. Understanding the solar system's journey through the Milky Way gives astronomers insights into the broader dynamics of galaxy movement and cosmic evolution. Fact 31. The Milky Way contains over 100 billion stars. The Milky Way galaxy, which is home to our solar system, is an enormous collection of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter. Current estimates suggest that the Milky Way contains between 100 and 400 billion stars. Our Sun is just one of these many stars, located in one of the galaxy's spiral arms, known as the Orion Arm. Despite the vast number of stars, the Milky Way is just one of billions of galaxies in the universe. The Milky Way is a barred spiral galaxy, meaning it has a central bar-shaped structure made up of stars, along with spiral arms that extend outward. At the center of the galaxy lies a supermassive black hole, known as Sagittarius A*, which plays a crucial role in holding the galaxy together with its immense gravitational pull. The incredible number of stars in the Milky Way highlights just how vast and densely packed our galaxy truly is. Fact 32. The Sun will eventually become a red giant. The Sun, like all stars, has a finite lifespan. In approximately 5 billion years, it will exhaust the hydrogen fuel in its core and begin to expand, transforming into a red giant. During this phase, the Sun will swell to such a size that it could engulf the inner planets, including Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth. As the Sun expands, its outer layers will be ejected into space, forming a planetary nebula. Eventually, the core will collapse into a white dwarf, an incredibly dense and hot remnant about the size of Earth but containing much of the Sun's original mass. This white dwarf will gradually cool over billions of years. While this transformation is a natural part of a star's life cycle, it will have significant effects on the solar system, potentially wiping out any life on Earth if it still exists at that distant point in the future. Fact 33. The largest asteroid in the solar system is Ceres. Located in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, is not only the largest asteroid but also classified as a dwarf planet. It spans about 940 kilometers, 584 miles, in diameter, making it significantly larger than other asteroids in the belt. Ceres was the first asteroid to be discovered, in 1801, and was initially considered a planet before being reclassified. Unlike most asteroids, Ceres is round, indicating that it has enough gravity to pull itself into a spherical shape, a characteristic that qualifies it as a dwarf planet. Ceres also has some intriguing features, including possible subsurface water ice and mysterious bright spots on its surface, which may be deposits of salt or other minerals. The presence of water ice has led scientists to speculate that Ceres might even harbor conditions suitable for life, or at least support microbial life forms, adding to the interest in this small but significant object. Fact 34. Earth is the only planet not named after a deity. All the planets in our solar system, except for Earth, are named after gods and goddesses from Roman mythology and Greek mythology in earlier references. For instance, Mars is named after the Roman god of war, Jupiter after the king of the gods, and Venus after the goddess of love. Earth, however, derives its name from Old English and Germanic words that simply mean ground or soil. The name is deeply tied to human culture and understanding of the world beneath our feet. Despite Earth's lack of a mythological name, it remains one of the most unique planets in the solar system, not only because of its name but because it is the only known planet to support life. The origins of its name reflect humanity's long-standing relationship with the land and nature, emphasizing its role as our home. Fact 35, Neptune was the first planet found by mathematical prediction. Neptune's discovery in 1846 was groundbreaking because it was the first planet to be found through mathematical prediction rather than direct observation. Astronomers had noticed irregularities in Uranus's orbit that couldn't be explained by known planets, leading them to hypothesize the presence of another distant planet exerting gravitational influence. Using these calculations, Johann Galle and Heinrich d'Arrest pinpointed Neptune's location, and it was soon confirmed through observation. Neptune is now known to be the eighth planet from the Sun and has 14 known moons. Its discovery marked a significant achievement in the use of mathematics to expand our knowledge of the solar system, demonstrating how scientists can uncover hidden worlds based on the gravitational effects they have on other celestial bodies. Neptune's discovery paved the way for the eventual identification of even more distant objects, such as Pluto and Kuiper belt objects. Fact 36, the hottest planet in the solar system is Venus, not Mercury. Although Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, it's not the hottest. That title goes to Venus, thanks to its dense atmosphere composed mostly of carbon dioxide. Venus experiences a runaway greenhouse effect, trapping heat and raising its surface temperature to a scorching 465 degrees Celsius, 869 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. Venus's thick clouds of sulfuric acid reflect sunlight, but the planet's atmosphere traps much of the heat, preventing it from escaping back into space. This causes Venus's surface to be uniformly hot, both day and night. Even though Mercury is closer to the Sun, it lacks a substantial atmosphere, so its temperature fluctuates dramatically, from 427 degrees Celsius, 800 degrees Fahrenheit, during the day to 180 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit, at night. Venus's oppressive heat and atmospheric conditions make it one of the most inhospitable places in the solar system, despite its similarities in size and structure to Earth. Fact 37, Jupiter's moon Europa may have a subsurface ocean. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, has intrigued scientists for decades due to the strong possibility that it has a subsurface ocean beneath its icy crust. Europa's surface is mostly water ice, and beneath this ice layer, scientists believe there could be a liquid ocean, kept warm by tidal heating generated from gravitational interactions with Jupiter and its other moons. The ocean could be as deep as 100 kilometers, 62 miles, which would contain more water than all of Earth's oceans combined. This subsurface ocean makes Europa one of the most promising places in the solar system to search for extraterrestrial life, as the presence of liquid water is a key ingredient for life as we know it. Future missions, such as NASA's Europa Clipper, are planned to study Europa more closely to determine if its ocean contains the necessary conditions to support life. Fact 38, the Sun makes up 99.86% of the solar system's mass. The Sun is by far the largest object in the solar system, making up 99.86% of the total mass. This means that all the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets together comprise only a tiny fraction of the solar system's mass. The Sun's immense gravity controls the orbits of all the planets and holds the solar system together. Its mass is so large because it is mostly made of hydrogen and helium, which fuse in the core to produce energy through nuclear fusion. This process has been ongoing for about 4.6 billion years, and the Sun is expected to continue burning for another 5 billion years before it expands into a red giant. The Sun's mass is responsible for its gravitational pull, which governs the motion of all objects in the solar system, from the smallest asteroid to the largest gas giants like Jupiter. Fact 39, Saturn's rings are made of ice and rock. Saturn's rings are one of the most striking features of the solar system, but they aren't solid structures. Instead, they are made up of countless particles of ice and rock, ranging in size from tiny grains to large boulders. These particles reflect sunlight, which is why Saturn's rings appear bright. The rings are divided into several sections, with the main ones being A, B, and C rings, and they span about 280,000 kilometers, 174,000 miles, across, though they are incredibly thin, only about 10 meters, 30 feet, thick in most places. Scientists believe the rings could be remnants of moons, comets, or asteroids that were torn apart by Saturn's powerful gravity. Despite their beauty, Saturn's rings may not be permanent. Over time, the material in the rings could fall into the planet due to gravitational forces, leading scientists to estimate that the rings may only last for another 100 to 300 million years. Fact 40, there are rogue planets floating freely in space. Not all planets are bound for a star. Some, known as rogue planets, wander through the galaxy without orbiting any star. These planets are believed to have been ejected from their original solar systems by gravitational interactions with other planets or stars. Astronomers estimate there could be billions of rogue planets in our galaxy alone. These wandering worlds are incredibly difficult to detect because they do not emit their own light and do not reflect light from a nearby star. However, some have been discovered using a technique called gravitational microlensing, which detects the bending of light from distant stars as a rogue planet passes in front of them. The existence of rogue planets challenges our understanding of planetary formation and raises intriguing possibilities about the environments and conditions on these isolated worlds, far from the warmth of any star. Fact 41, the Moon has earthquakes, or moonquakes. The Moon isn't a completely inactive world. Moonquakes regularly occur beneath its surface. These seismic activities are similar to earthquakes on Earth but are much less frequent and weaker. Moonquakes are caused by tidal forces generated by Earth's gravitational pull, which creates stress within the Moon's interior. There are also thermal moonquakes, which occur when the frigid surface, which gets extremely cold at night, warms up during the lunar day, causing expansion and cracking. Moonquakes can last for up to an hour due to the Moon's lack of water and tectonic plates, which would otherwise absorb seismic energy like Earth does. While moonquakes are not strong enough to cause significant damage, they are of great interest to scientists, especially as they consider establishing permanent human bases on the Moon. Understanding the Moon's seismic activity is crucial for building safe habitats for future lunar explorers. Fact 42, the Earth's magnetic field protects us from solar radiation. Earth's magnetic field acts like a protective shield, deflecting harmful solar radiation and cosmic rays. This field is generated by the movement of molten iron in Earth's outer core and extends thousands of kilometers into space, creating a region known as the magnetosphere. The magnetic field is crucial for life on Earth because it prevents the solar wind, charged particles emitted by the Sun, from stripping away our atmosphere, as it has on Mars, which lacks a strong magnetic field. Without this protection, life on Earth would be exposed to high levels of radiation that could damage DNA and disrupt ecosystems. The magnetic field also causes beautiful phenomena like the auroras, the northern and southern lights, when charged particles from the Sun interact with Earth's atmosphere near the poles. However, the magnetic field isn't static. It shifts and even reverses polarity over time, a process that scientists are still studying. Fact 43, Titan, Saturn's moon, has lakes of liquid methane. Saturn's largest moon, Titan, is unique in the solar system because it has lakes and rivers of liquid methane and ethane on its surface. With a thick atmosphere composed mostly of nitrogen, Titan experiences weather patterns similar to Earth's, including rain and evaporation cycles, but instead of water, Titan's rain consists of methane. Temperatures on Titan are extremely cold, averaging around 179 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit, which allows methane and ethane to exist in liquid form. These hydrocarbons collect in vast lakes and seas, primarily in the northern hemisphere. The largest of these lakes, Kraken Mare, is about the size of the Caspian Sea. Scientists are fascinated by Titan's methane lakes because they provide an example of how liquid-based systems can exist on other worlds, raising the possibility of alternative forms of life. Future missions, such as NASA's Dragonfly mission, aim to explore Titan's surface and atmosphere further. Fact 44, the Hubble Space Telescope has captured over 1.5 million observations. Launched in 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope has revolutionized our understanding of the universe by capturing more than 1.5 million observations of planets, stars, galaxies, and distant nebulae. Hubble orbits Earth at an altitude of about 547 kilometers, 340 miles, free from the distortion caused by Earth's atmosphere, allowing it to capture incredibly clear and detailed images. Some of its most famous observations include the Pillars of Creation in the Eagle Nebula, detailed views of Jupiter's storms, and the Hubble Deep Field, which revealed thousands of galaxies in a tiny patch of the sky. Hubble's data has led to major discoveries, such as the accelerated expansion of the universe and the existence of dark energy. Despite being over 3 decades old, Hubble remains one of the most important tools in astronomy, continuing to provide stunning images and valuable data about the universe. Fact 45, the asteroid belt is not as crowded as movies portray. Contrary to popular depictions in movies, where spaceships dodge massive asteroids every few seconds, the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is actually quite sparse. While there are millions of asteroids within this region, they are spread over a vast space, about 550 million kilometers, 342 million miles, across. The average distance between two asteroids is about 1 million kilometer, 620,000 miles, making collisions or close encounters extremely rare. Most asteroids are relatively small, with the largest, Ceres, being the only dwarf planet in the belt. These asteroids are remnants from the early solar system that never coalesced into a planet due to the strong gravitational influence of Jupiter. Despite the scarcity of objects, the asteroid belt remains a fascinating area of study for scientists, as it offers insights into the formation of planets and the early history of our solar system. Fact 46, Mercury has water ice in its craters. Despite being the closest planet to the Sun, Mercury has water ice hidden in its permanently shadowed craters near the poles. These craters are located in regions that never receive direct sunlight, allowing temperatures to stay cold enough, below 170 degrees Celsius, 274 degrees Fahrenheit, to preserve ice. This discovery was made using radar observations and confirmed by NASA's Messenger spacecraft in 2012. The presence of water ice on Mercury is surprising given its proximity to the Sun, but it highlights how even small pockets of shade in space can create environments conducive to the preservation of ice. The water likely arrived via comet impacts or was released from Mercury's interior through volcanic activity. Understanding the presence of water ice on Mercury helps scientists study the conditions that may have existed in the early solar system and provides insights into where water might be found on other celestial bodies. Fact 47, comets are made of ice, dust, and organic compounds. Comets, often referred to as dirty snowballs, are celestial bodies made primarily of ice, dust, and organic compounds such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. When comets approach the Sun, the heat causes the ice to vaporize, creating a glowing coma around the comet and sometimes forming a tail that can stretch millions of kilometers. The most famous comet, Halley's Comet, returns to the inner solar system every 76 years, and its next appearance will be in 2061. Comets are believed to be remnants from the early solar system, originating from regions like the Kuiper Belt or the distant Oort cloud. Their composition provides valuable clues about the materials that existed when the solar system was forming. Some scientists speculate that comets may have even brought water and organic molecules to Earth, potentially playing a role in the origin of life. Fact 48, the Moon was formed after a giant impact with Earth. The leading theory about the Moon's formation is known as the giant impact hypothesis. This theory suggests that about 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object, often referred to as Theia, collided with the early Earth. The impact was so powerful that it ejected vast amounts of material from Earth's crust and mantle into space. Over time, this debris coalesced and formed what we now know as the Moon. The composition of the Moon's rocks supports this theory, as they are similar to Earth's mantle, yet show signs of having undergone intense heat, likely from the impact. The giant impact not only created the Moon but also tilted Earth's axis, giving us seasons. The gravitational relationship between Earth and the Moon has since played a crucial role in stabilizing Earth's climate and tides, profoundly influencing the development of life on our planet. Fact 49, the solar wind creates the northern and southern lights. The beautiful auroras, also known as the northern lights, aurora borealis, and southern lights, aurora australis, are caused by interactions between the solar wind and Earth's magnetic field. The solar wind is a stream of charged particles, mainly electrons and protons, that are constantly emitted by the Sun. When these particles reach Earth, they are guided by the planet's magnetic field toward the poles. As the particles collide with gases in Earth's atmosphere, such as oxygen and nitrogen, they excite these atoms, causing them to emit light. The result is the dazzling display of colorful lights that we see in the polar regions. The colors of the auroras depend on the types of gases involved. Oxygen produces green and red lights, while nitrogen gives off blue and purple hues. Auroras are not only beautiful but also a reminder of the Sun's powerful influence on our planet. Fact 50, the Voyager probes are the farthest human-made objects in space. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, launched by NASA in 1977, are the farthest human-made objects from Earth. As of now, Both probes have traveled beyond the heliosphere, the bubble of space influenced by the sun's solar wind, and are now in interstellar space. Voyager 1 is over 14 billion miles away from Earth, making it the most distant spacecraft. Both probes have provided invaluable data about the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, as well as the edge of the solar system. Voyager 1 and 2 carry the Golden Record, a time capsule containing sounds and images from Earth, intended to communicate the story of our world to any intelligent life that might encounter them. These probes are expected to continue drifting through space, silently carrying human-made artifacts far beyond the boundaries of our solar system for millions of years. Fact 51. Mars once had liquid water on its surface. Mars, now a dry and barren planet, once had vast amounts of liquid water on its surface. Evidence of ancient rivers, lakes, and even oceans has been found in the form of dried riverbeds, minerals that form in water, and sediment layers visible in craters. NASA's Curiosity rover and Perseverance rover have both found strong indications that water was present on Mars billions of years ago. This liquid water likely flowed during Mars' early history, when the planet had a thicker atmosphere and warmer climate. Scientists believe that this water could have supported microbial life, making Mars one of the most intriguing places in the search for life beyond Earth. Today, water on Mars exists mostly in the form of ice, with small amounts of water vapor in the atmosphere. Understanding Mars' watery past helps scientists explore the potential for life and informs future missions aimed at human exploration of the planet. Fact 52. The speed of light is the universe's ultimate speed limit. One of the most fundamental principles of physics is that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light in a vacuum, which is approximately 299,792 kilometers per second, 186,282 miles per second. This limit was established by Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, which also explains how space and time are interconnected. As objects approach the speed of light, their mass increases exponentially, requiring more and more energy to accelerate. This makes it impossible for anything with mass to reach or exceed the speed of light. Photons, the particles of light, are massless, allowing them to travel at this ultimate speed. The speed of light not only limits how fast information can travel but also defines the structure of the universe itself, governing the behavior of everything from tiny subatomic particles to massive galaxies. This cosmic speed limit is crucial in understanding the vast distances and timescales we observe in the universe. Fact 53. The Andromeda Galaxy is on a collision course with the Milky Way. The Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large galactic neighbor, is slowly but surely heading toward a collision with the Milky Way. Currently, Andromeda is about 2.5 million light-years away from us, but it is moving closer at a speed of about 110 kilometers per second, 68 miles per second. In about 4.5 billion years, the two galaxies are expected to merge in a cosmic event that will dramatically reshape both galaxies. This collision won't be as catastrophic as it sounds. Because galaxies are mostly empty space, stars and planets are unlikely to collide directly. Instead, the gravitational forces will merge the stars and gas clouds, creating a new elliptical galaxy, sometimes referred to as Milkomeda. The merger will significantly change the night sky, as Andromeda becomes brighter and larger in view over the next few billion years before the two galaxies finally unite. Fact 54. The Sun will burn for another 5 billion years. Our Sun is about 4.6 billion years old, and it's roughly halfway through its main sequence phase, where it converts hydrogen into helium through nuclear fusion. This process is what generates the Sun's heat and light, providing the energy that sustains life on Earth. In about 5 billion years, the Sun will run out of hydrogen fuel in its core and begin fusing helium. At this point, it will expand into a red giant, engulfing the inner planets, including possibly Earth. After this red giant phase, the Sun will shed its outer layers, creating a stunning planetary nebula, and its core will collapse into a white dwarf, a small, dense remnant about the size of Earth but with most of the Sun's mass. Although this transformation is far in the future, it represents the inevitable life cycle of stars similar to the Sun and provides insight into the future of our solar system. Fact 55. Black holes can warp space and time. Black holes are some of the most enigmatic and fascinating objects in the universe. Formed from the collapse of massive stars, they possess such intense gravity that not even light can escape from them, giving them their name. One of the most intriguing aspects of black holes is their ability to warp space and time. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, the presence of a black hole distorts the fabric of space-time, bending it around the object. This warping effect is so strong near a black hole's event horizon, the point of no return, that time itself slows down relative to an outside observer. If someone were to approach a black hole, their time would appear to slow dramatically from the perspective of someone farther away, an effect known as gravitational time dilation. Black holes also generate massive gravitational forces that can rip apart anything that comes too close, making them both awe-inspiring and deadly cosmic phenomena. Fact 56. There may be more planets than stars in the galaxy. Astronomers have discovered thousands of planets orbiting stars in the Milky Way, and recent studies suggest that planets may actually outnumber the stars in our galaxy. Known as exoplanets, these worlds range in size and composition, from rocky Earth-like planets to gas giants much larger than Jupiter. NASA's Kepler Space Telescope and other planet hunting missions have revolutionized our understanding of planetary systems, revealing that most stars likely have at least one planet. With over 100 billion stars in the Milky Way, this suggests that there could be billions of planets in our galaxy alone. Some of these planets may reside in the habitable zone, where conditions could allow liquid water to exist, making them prime candidates in the search for extraterrestrial life. The discovery of exoplanets continues to reshape our understanding of the universe and the potential for other life-supporting worlds. Fact 57. The Great Attractor is pulling our galaxy and others toward it. The Great Attractor is a mysterious gravitational anomaly located about 150 million light-years away from Earth. It's pulling our Milky Way galaxy, along with hundreds of thousands of other galaxies, toward it at a speed of about 600 kilometers per second, 373 miles per second. This immense region exerts such a strong gravitational pull that it influences the motion of entire galaxy clusters, including the Laniakea supercluster, which is home to the Milky Way. What makes the Great Attractor so intriguing is that it lies in a region of space obscured by the zone of avoidance, a part of the sky that's difficult to observe because it's blocked by our own galaxy's stars and dust. Despite its powerful influence, scientists are still trying to understand exactly what the Great Attractor is, whether it's a supermassive cluster of galaxies, a black hole, or some other gravitational phenomenon. Fact 58. The surface of Venus spins slower than its atmosphere. Venus has some of the most extreme weather conditions in the solar system, including an atmosphere that moves at supersonic speeds. What's particularly unusual is that Venus's atmosphere rotates about 60 times faster than the planet's surface, a phenomenon known as superrotation. While the planet itself takes 243 Earth days to complete one rotation, its thick atmosphere, composed primarily of carbon dioxide with clouds of sulfuric acid, circulates the planet in just 4 Earth days. This difference in rotational speeds creates fierce winds that reach speeds of up to 360 km per hour, 224 miles per hour, making Venus one of the most dynamically active planets in terms of atmospheric motion. Scientists are still studying the cause of superrotation, but it's thought to be related to the way solar energy interacts with the dense atmosphere and Venus's slow rotational period. Fact 59. Neutron stars are so dense that a sugar cube-sized amount would weigh as much as a mountain. Neutron stars are the remnants of massive stars that have undergone supernova explosions. What's left after the explosion is an incredibly dense core, composed almost entirely of neutrons. These stars are so dense that a sugar cube-sized amount of neutron star material would weigh about 1 billion ton, as much as a mountain. Neutron stars typically have a radius of just 10 to 12 kilometers, 6 to 7 miles, but contain 1.4 times the mass of the Sun. The extreme density of neutron stars gives rise to some of the most powerful magnetic fields and fastest rotations in the universe, with some neutron stars, called pulsars, spinning hundreds of times per second. The study of neutron stars provides valuable insights into the behavior of matter under extreme conditions, pushing the limits of our understanding of physics. Fact 60. Space is not completely empty. It's filled with plasma and dark matter. While space may seem like a vast, empty vacuum, it's actually filled with various forms of matter and energy, including plasma and dark matter. Plasma, a hot, ionized gas, is the most common state of matter in the universe, found in stars, interstellar clouds, and even in regions like the solar wind that flows through space. Plasma carries charged particles and electromagnetic fields, playing a critical role in phenomena such as the auroras and the heliosphere. Dark matter, on the other hand, is an invisible form of matter that doesn't emit or interact with light but exerts gravitational influence on galaxies and galaxy clusters. Scientists estimate that dark matter makes up about 27% of the universe's total mass, while visible matter, like stars and planets, accounts for only about 5%. This hidden matter is crucial for understanding the universe's structure and evolution. Fact 61. Uranus and Neptune may have ocean. Earth have replicated the conditions found inside Uranus and Neptune, confirming that diamond formation is possible under such extreme conditions. This intriguing possibility makes these planets unique and suggests that their interiors are vastly different from the gas giants Jupiter and Saturn. Understanding these processes provides insights into planetary formation and the behavior of matter under extreme pressure, raising exciting possibilities for future space exploration and study. Fact 62. A full day on Jupiter lasts less than 10 hours. Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, has the fastest rotation of any planet, completing a full rotation in just 9 hours and 56 minutes. This rapid spin creates some of the most extreme weather systems in the solar system, including the Great Red Spot, a massive storm that has been raging for centuries. The fast rotation also causes Jupiter to bulge at the equator, making it more oblate than most planets. Despite its short day, Jupiter's size means that it experiences a wide range of atmospheric conditions across its surface, from intense storms to strong magnetic fields. The planet's rapid rotation contributes to the complex dynamics of its cloud systems and weather patterns, making it one of the most fascinating planets for astronomers to study. The combination of its fast spin and massive size makes Jupiter unique among the planets. Fact 63. Venus is the brightest object in the night sky after the Moon. Venus is often referred to as the evening star, or morning star, due to its incredible brightness in the night sky. After the Moon, Venus is the brightest object visible from Earth, thanks to its thick cloud cover, which reflects up to 70% of the sunlight that hits it. This high albedo makes Venus shine brilliantly, making it easily visible to the naked eye. Venus is often seen just after sunset or just before sunrise because its orbit is closer to the Sun than Earth's, meaning it never strays far from the Sun's position in the sky. Despite being similar in size and composition to Earth, Venus's thick atmosphere creates a runaway greenhouse effect, trapping heat and causing surface temperatures to soar, making it the hottest planet in the solar system. Its brightness and proximity make it one of the most studied planets in our solar system. Fact 64. Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, has geysers that erupt water into space. Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, is known for its stunning geysers, which erupt plumes of water vapor, ice, and organic compounds from its surface. These geysers are located near the Moon's south pole and are powered by tidal forces generated by Saturn's immense gravitational pull. Beneath Enceladus's icy crust lies a global subsurface ocean, and the heat from Saturn's tidal forces keeps this ocean liquid. The water from this ocean escapes through cracks in the ice, creating geysers that shoot into space. These plumes have been studied by spacecraft like Cassini, which flew through the geysers and found evidence of organic compounds, hinting at the potential for microbial life in Enceladus's hidden ocean. The discovery of active water geysers has made Enceladus one of the top candidates in the search for extraterrestrial life within our solar system. Fact 65. Mars has the largest dust storms in the solar system. Mars, known for its dry, dusty landscape, experiences the largest dust storms in the solar system. These storms can cover the entire planet and last for weeks, with meters or more. Mars's thin atmosphere allows winds to reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour, lifting fine dust particles into the air. Although these wind speeds are relatively mild compared to Earth's hurricanes, Mars's low gravity means the dust can stay suspended in the atmosphere for extended periods, turning the entire sky a reddish hue. These dust storms can obscure the surface and make it difficult for rovers and other instruments to operate. Understanding these storms is crucial for future manned missions to Mars, as the storms could affect solar power, visibility, and equipment operations during exploration. Fact 66. Saturn's moon Titan has an Earth-like atmosphere. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is unique in the solar system because it has a thick atmosphere similar to Earth's. Composed mostly of nitrogen with traces of methane and other organic compounds, Titan's atmosphere is dense enough to support weather patterns like rain, but instead of water, it rains liquid methane and ethane. The surface of Titan also features lakes, rivers, and seas of liquid methane, giving it an eerily Earth-like appearance. The pressure at Titan's surface is about 1.5 times that of Earth's, and the Moon's thick atmosphere protects it from space radiation, similar to how Earth's atmosphere shields us. However, the surface temperature on Titan is around 179 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit, far too cold for liquid water. Despite the harsh conditions, Titan remains a top target for astrobiologists because its chemical composition could provide clues about prebiotic chemistry, potentially offering insights into the early conditions that led to life on Earth. Fact 67, the Sun will eventually engulf the inner planets in about 5 billion years. The Sun will exhaust its hydrogen fuel and enter its red giant phase, expanding to many times its current size. During this phase, the Sun will become so large that it could engulf the inner planets, including Mercury, Venus, and possibly even Earth. As the Sun expands, its outer layers will be shed into space, creating a beautiful planetary nebula, while the core will collapse into a white dwarf. This stellar evolution is a normal part of the life cycle of stars like the Sun. While it sounds alarming, this event is so far in the future that it's unlikely to affect life on Earth as we know it. Scientists study these phases of stellar evolution to better understand the fate of our solar system and to observe similar processes occurring with other stars in our galaxy. Fact 68, the largest known star is over 1,700 times bigger than the Sun. The largest known star in the universe is UY Scuti, a red supergiant located in the constellation Scutum. UY Scuti has a radius about 1,700 times that of the Sun, making it one of the largest stars ever discovered in terms of volume. If UY Scuti were placed at the center of our solar system, its outer surface would extend beyond the orbit of Jupiter. Despite its massive size, UY Scuti is not the most massive star in terms of mass. Other stars, like R136A1, are more massive but much smaller in volume. Red supergiants like UY Scuti are in the later stages of their life cycle and will eventually explode in a supernova, leaving behind a neutron star or black hole. The sheer size of UY Scuti highlights the diversity and scale of stellar objects in the universe, with stars ranging from tiny red dwarfs to colossal supergiants. Fact 69, there could be billions of rogue planets drifting in our galaxy. Rogue planets are planets that don't orbit a star and instead drift freely through space. Recent estimates suggest there could be billions of rogue planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone. These planets are thought to have been ejected from their original solar systems due to gravitational interactions with other planets or stars. Unlike planets in solar systems, rogue planets travel through the cold, dark reaches of space, far from any source of light or heat. Detecting rogue planets is incredibly difficult because they don't emit their own light, but astronomers have been able to discover some using techniques like gravitational microlensing, which detects the bending of light from distant stars as a rogue planet passes in front of them. The existence of so many rogue planets raises intriguing questions about their origins and whether some of them could potentially harbor life in extreme environments. Fact 70, Voyager 1 has left the solar system. Launched in 1977, Voyager 1 became the first human-made object to leave the solar system when it crossed into interstellar space in 2012. Voyager 1 is now over 14 billion miles from Earth, traveling through the space between stars. This historic journey has provided scientists with invaluable data about the outer regions of the solar system and the environment of interstellar space. The spacecraft continues to send back information about cosmic rays, magnetic fields, and the density of particles in this distant region. Voyager 1 carries the Golden Record, a time capsule of Earth's sounds, music, and images, designed to communicate the story of our world to any extraterrestrial civilizations that might one day encounter it. Despite being over 45 years old, Voyager 1 continues to function and is expected to keep transmitting data until its power source runs out in the next decade or two. Fact 71, some galaxies are moving away from us faster than the speed of light due to the expansion of the universe. Some galaxies are moving away from us faster than the speed of light. This might sound like it violates the laws of physics, but it doesn't. While nothing can travel through space faster than light, the expansion of space itself can cause galaxies to recede from each other at superluminal speeds. This phenomenon is predicted by Einstein's theory of general relativity and was confirmed by observations of distant galaxies. The further away a galaxy is, the faster it appears to be moving away from us. Eventually, some galaxies will recede so far that their light will no longer be able to reach us, meaning they will become invisible to future generations of astronomers. This discovery has profound implications for our understanding of the universe's fate and highlights the role of dark energy in driving the accelerating expansion of space. Fact 72, Jupiter's magnetic field is 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. Jupiter boasts the most powerful magnetic field in the solar system, which is about 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. This immense magnetic field extends far into space, creating a massive magnetosphere that can stretch as far as 600 million kilometers, 373 million miles, from the planet, nearly reaching Saturn's orbit. The source of Jupiter's strong magnetic field is its fast rotation and the movement of metallic hydrogen within its core, which acts like a dynamo generating the magnetic field. Jupiter's powerful magnetosphere traps charged particles from the solar wind, forming intense radiation belts. These radiation belts are so strong that they pose significant challenges for spacecraft navigating near the planet. The magnetic field also creates stunning auroras near Jupiter's poles, far more powerful than those seen on Earth, offering scientists valuable insights into magnetic field interactions in planetary systems. Fact 73, the universe is estimated to be 13.8 billion years old. The age of the universe is estimated to be around 13.8 billion years, a figure determined through observations of the cosmic microwave background radiation, CMB, and the expansion rate of the universe. The CMB is the faint glow left over from the Big Bang, and its detailed study has provided scientists with a wealth of information about the universe's early moments. This radiation is considered the oldest light in the universe and serves as a snapshot of what the universe looked like roughly 380,000 years after its creation. By measuring the CMB and the rate at which galaxies are moving away from each other, scientists have been able to estimate the universe's age with remarkable precision. This estimate is continually refined as new data from telescopes and space missions, like the Planck satellite, becomes available, providing deeper insights into the universe's origins and development. Fact 74, Mercury has almost no atmosphere. Mercury, the smallest planet in our solar system and the closest to the Sun, has almost no atmosphere. Instead of a thick atmosphere like Earth's, Mercury has an exosphere, a very thin layer of atoms and particles that escape into space. This exosphere is composed primarily of oxygen, sodium, hydrogen, helium, and potassium. Because Mercury's atmosphere is so thin, it provides no protection from solar radiation or meteor impacts, leading to extreme temperature variations. During the day, temperatures can soar to 430 degrees Celsius, 800 degrees Fahrenheit, but without an atmosphere to trap heat, they plummet to 180 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit, at night. The lack of atmosphere also means that Mercury's surface is heavily cratered and lacks the weathering and erosion processes that occur on planets with thicker atmospheres. This makes Mercury's landscape one of the most ancient and unchanged surfaces in the solar system. Fact 75, Saturn's rings are less than 100 million years old. Despite being one of Saturn's most iconic features, its stunning rings are relatively young in cosmic terms. Scientists estimate that Saturn's rings are less than 100 million years old, possibly as young as 10 million years. This is surprising because Saturn itself is around 4.5 billion years old. The rings are thought to have formed from the remnants of a moon or a comet that got too close to Saturn and was torn apart by its immense gravity. The debris from this event settled into orbit around the planet, forming the bright and icy rings we see today. The age of the rings was determined by studying the amount of dust mixed with the icy particles in the rings. The less dust present, the younger the rings are. Over time, the rings will likely continue to change, eventually being pulled into Saturn by its gravity. Fact 76, the Moon is slowly moving away from Earth. The Moon is gradually drifting away from Earth at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters, 1.5 inches, per year. This slow separation is caused by tidal interactions between Earth and the Moon. As Earth rotates, it causes the oceans to bulge, creating tides that pull on the Moon. This gravitational interaction transfers energy to the Moon, pushing it into a slightly higher orbit. The Moon's increasing distance from Earth also causes Earth's rotation to slow down very slightly, making days on Earth longer over time. In a few billion years, this process will continue to change the dynamics of the Earth-Moon system, affecting tides and the length of a day. The fact that the Moon is moving away also means that in the distant future, it will no longer be able to fully cover the Sun during solar eclipses, ending the era of total solar eclipses visible from Earth. Fact 77, the largest black hole ever discovered is 40 billion times the mass of the Sun. The largest black hole ever discovered is located in the galaxy Home 15A and has a mass of approximately 40 billion times that of the Sun. This colossal black hole is known as an ultramassive black hole and is far larger than the more commonly known supermassive black holes found at the centers of galaxies, including our own Milky Way. By comparison, the black hole at the center of the Milky Way, known as Sagittarius A*, is about 4 million times the mass of the Sun. The black hole in Home 15A resides in the center of a large galaxy cluster and has a gravitational pull so strong that it significantly influences the movement of surrounding stars and galaxies. The discovery of such enormous black holes challenges current models of galaxy formation and raises questions about how these behemoths grow to such immense sizes over time. Fact 78, the Earth's core is as hot as the surface of the Sun deep beneath our feet. The Earth's core is incredibly hot, with temperatures reaching approximately 5,500 degrees Celsius, 9,932 degrees Fahrenheit, about the same temperature as the surface of the Sun. The core is composed primarily of iron and nickel and is divided into two layers, the solid inner core and the liquid outer core. The heat in the core comes from several sources, including the leftover heat from Earth's formation, radioactive decay, and the intense pressure exerted by the overlying layers of the planet. This extreme heat drives convection currents in the outer core, which generate Earth's magnetic field. Despite its scorching temperatures, the inner core remains solid due to the immense pressure that prevents the iron from melting. Understanding the core's composition and behavior helps scientists learn more about Earth's magnetic field and how it protects life from solar and cosmic radiation. Fact 79, the Milky Way and Andromeda will collide in about 4.5 billion years. The Milky Way galaxy is on a collision course with the Andromeda Galaxy, and the two are expected to collide in about 4.5 billion years. Both galaxies are part of the local group and are being pulled toward each other by their mutual gravitational attraction. While it may sound catastrophic, this galactic collision will likely be less violent than one might imagine because the vast distances between stars mean that very few stars will actually collide. Instead, the two galaxies will pass through each other, merging their stars, gas, and dust over billions of years to form a new galaxy, sometimes referred to as Milkomeda. The event will dramatically reshape the structure of both galaxies, altering the night sky for any future observers on Earth or other planets. This process is a natural part of galaxy evolution and provides scientists with a unique opportunity to study how galaxies form and change over time. Fact 80, the largest volcano in the solar system is on Mars. Mars is home to Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system. This giant shield volcano is about 22 kilometers, 13.6 miles, high, nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest, and spans 600 kilometers, 373 miles, across, roughly the size of the state of Arizona. Olympus Mons formed from repeated volcanic eruptions that slowly built up its massive size over millions of years. Unlike Earth's volcanoes, which are distributed across tectonic plates, Mars has no tectonic activity, allowing Olympus Mons to grow larger than any volcano on Earth. Its slopes are gentle due to the slow flow of lava, and its size is enhanced by Mars's weaker gravity. Although Olympus Mons is currently dormant, evidence suggests it was active as recently as a few million years ago, making it one of the most intriguing geological features in our solar system. Fact 81, the hottest planet in the solar system is Venus. Despite being the second planet from the Sun, Venus holds the title for the hottest planet in the solar system, with surface temperatures reaching an extreme 465 degrees Celsius, 869 degrees Fahrenheit. The intense heat is due to Venus's thick atmosphere, which is composed mostly of carbon dioxide. This creates a runaway greenhouse effect, trapping heat from the Sun and preventing it from escaping into space. Venus's dense atmosphere also exerts a surface pressure 90 times greater than Earth's, equivalent to being nearly 900 meters, 3,000 feet, underwater. While Mercury is closer to the Sun, its lack of atmosphere allows heat to escape during its night cycle, making Venus the true hotspot of the solar system. The planet's scorching surface temperatures and hostile environment make it an incredibly challenging place for exploration, although scientists continue to study it for clues about planetary atmospheres and climate change. Fact 82, the solar system has a tail like a comet. The heliosphere, a vast bubble of charged particles that surrounds the solar system and is influenced by the Sun's magnetic field, actually has a tail, much like a comet. This tail is known as the heliotail and is formed as the solar wind interacts with the surrounding interstellar medium, the material that fills the space between stars. The solar wind pushes against the interstellar medium, creating a tail that trails behind the solar system as it moves through space. The NASA Interstellar Boundary Explorer (IBEX) mission has helped map this heliotail, revealing that it is shaped somewhat like a four-leaf clover. This tail, composed of solar particles, extends for billions of kilometers beyond Pluto and is constantly shifting as it interacts with the galactic environment. The heliotail is one of the many ways our Sun influences the space around it, shaping the environment we travel through as a solar system. Fact 83, a day on Pluto is longer than a year on Pluto. On Pluto, the dwarf planet that lies far beyond Neptune in the Kuiper belt, a single day, one full rotation on its axis, lasts 153 hours, the equivalent of about 6.4 Earth days. Meanwhile, a year on Pluto, the time it takes to orbit the Sun, takes a whopping 248 Earth years. This means that during one full Plutonian year, the planet experiences fewer than 144 days. The reason for Pluto's lengthy days and years is its significant distance from the Sun and its slow rotational speed. Pluto's far orbit also causes extreme seasons that last for decades. This distant world's unusual day-night cycle and long journey around the Sun continue to captivate astronomers, especially after the New Horizons mission provided unprecedented close-up images and data in 2015, revealing Pluto's complex terrain and atmosphere. Fact 84, there are mountains on Pluto taller than the Rockies. When NASA's New Horizons spacecraft flew past Pluto in 2015, it revealed some stunning features on the dwarf planet's surface, including towering mountains made of ice. These ice mountains reach heights of 3,500 meters, 11,000 feet, comparable to the Rocky Mountains on Earth. Unlike Earth's mountains, which are primarily made of rock, Pluto's mountains are composed of water ice that's as hard as rock due to the planet's extremely low temperatures, which average around 229 degrees Celsius, 380 degrees Fahrenheit. The existence of these mountains suggests geological activity on Pluto, which is surprising given its small size and distant location from the Sun. The discovery of tall ice mountains on Pluto has reshaped scientists' understanding of this distant world, offering clues about its complex and dynamic surface, which includes plains, valleys, and glaciers of nitrogen and methane ice. Fact 85, spacecraft can use gravitational slingshots to travel faster. One of the cleverest ways spacecraft can increase their speed and save fuel is through a technique known as a gravitational slingshot or gravity assist. This maneuver involves flying a spacecraft close to a planet or moon, using that body's gravitational pull to accelerate the spacecraft and change its direction. By borrowing some of the planet's momentum, the spacecraft gains velocity without using additional fuel. This technique has been used by missions like Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, which used multiple gravity assists to reach the outer planets and beyond. Similarly, the Cassini spacecraft used gravity assists from Venus, Earth, and Jupiter to reach Saturn. Gravitational slingshots are critical for deep space exploration, as they enable spacecraft to travel much farther and faster than would be possible with conventional propulsion alone. It's a brilliant way to make the most of the physics of celestial bodies. Fact 86, Saturn's moon Enceladus reflects almost all sunlight. Enceladus, one of Saturn's most fascinating moons, is covered in a thick layer of ice that makes it the most reflective body in the solar system. It reflects nearly 100% of the sunlight that hits it, meaning its albedo, reflectivity, is almost perfect. This high reflectivity is due to the fresh, clean ice that covers its surface, constantly replenished by the water ice geysers that erupt from the moon's south pole. These geysers shoot water vapor and ice particles into space, coating the moon's surface and even contributing to Saturn's E-ring, the outermost ring. Enceladus's highly reflective surface makes it one of the brightest objects in the solar system, visible even from far distances. This constant resurfacing and the presence of subsurface water make Enceladus one of the most intriguing locations in the search for extraterrestrial life. Fact 87, the Earth's atmosphere extends beyond the International Space Station, ISS. While it's easy to think of space beginning just beyond our planet, Earth's atmosphere actually stretches much farther than most realize. The thermosphere, one of the outer layers of Earth's atmosphere, extends from 90 kilometers, 56 miles, to 600 kilometers, 373 miles, above the Earth's surface. This means that the International Space Station, ISS, which orbits at about 400 kilometers (248 miles) above Earth, is still within the thermosphere. Beyond that lies the exosphere, the outermost layer of Earth's atmosphere, which fades into the vacuum of space at around 10,000 kilometers (6,200 miles). Even at these extreme altitudes, particles from Earth's atmosphere can still be found, albeit in very low concentrations. These layers of the atmosphere protect life on Earth by filtering out harmful solar radiation and burning up meteoroids that would otherwise reach the surface. Fact 88: Uranus has rings, but they are dark and faint. Most people associate planetary rings with Saturn, but Uranus also has a system of rings, though they are much darker, thinner, and fainter than Saturn's. Uranus's rings were first discovered in 1977, and they are primarily made up of small particles of rock and ice, with some rings containing more dust than others. There are currently 13 known rings around Uranus, and they are so dark that they reflect very little light, making them difficult to observe without advanced telescopes. The rings are thought to be relatively young, potentially formed by the collision of moons or by moons being pulled apart by Uranus's gravitational forces. Unlike Saturn's wide, bright rings, Uranus's rings are narrow and widely spaced, adding to the planet's already unusual characteristics, including its 98-degree axial tilt, which makes it appear to rotate on its side. Fact 89: Venus has more volcanoes than any other planet. Venus, often called Earth's sister planet due to its similar size and composition, is home to more volcanoes than any other planet in the solar system. Scientists estimate that Venus has over 1,600 major volcanoes, though most are now dormant. Unlike Earth, which has tectonic plates that allow for the movement and recycling of the planet's crust, Venus has a single, thick crust. This lack of plate tectonics means that heat from Venus's interior escapes through volcanic activity, leading to the formation of so many volcanoes. The largest volcano on Venus, Mare Mons, stands about 8 kilometers (5 miles) high. Some evidence suggests that volcanic activity on Venus may still occur today, based on recent observations of hotspots and changes in the planet's surface. Studying Venus's volcanic history helps scientists understand not only Venus but also the geological evolution of rocky planets. Fact 90: Mars has polar ice caps made of water and carbon dioxide. Mars, often referred to as the red planet, has polar ice caps similar to Earth's, but with a key difference: they are made up of both water ice and carbon dioxide ice, dry ice. The ice caps grow and shrink with the changing seasons on Mars. During the Martian winter, the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere freezes and adds a layer of dry ice to the existing water ice caps, which can be up to 3 kilometers (1.9 miles) thick. In the summer, the carbon dioxide sublimates back into gas, leaving behind the water ice. The northern polar cap is primarily water ice, while the southern cap has a thicker layer of dry ice. These ice caps are a significant area of interest for scientists, as they contain clues about Mars's climate history and could potentially be a resource for future human missions to the planet. Fact 91: The Sun contains 99.86% of the Solar System's mass. The Sun is by far the most massive object in the Solar System, containing 99.86% of all its mass. This immense mass, about 330,000 times that of Earth, generates the Sun's powerful gravitational force, which keeps all the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets in orbit around it. The Sun is composed mostly of hydrogen, about 74%, and helium, about 24%, with trace amounts of other elements like oxygen, carbon, neon, and iron. Its core is the site of nuclear fusion, where hydrogen is fused into helium, releasing the energy that powers the Sun and provides light and heat to the solar system. Despite its dominance in mass, the Sun is considered a G-type main sequence star, or yellow dwarf, and will continue burning for another 5 billion years before entering its red giant phase. Fact 92: Neptune's moon Triton orbits backwards. Triton, the largest moon of Neptune, is unique because it orbits the planet in the opposite direction of Neptune's rotation, a phenomenon known as a retrograde orbit. Triton is the only large moon in the solar system to do this, and scientists believe that Triton was once a dwarf planet in the Kuiper belt before being captured by Neptune's gravity. Triton's surface is incredibly cold, with temperatures reaching 235 degrees Celsius, 391 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the coldest objects in the solar system. The surface is also geologically active, with cryovolcanoes that spew out water and ammonia instead of molten rock. Triton's retrograde orbit and active surface make it a fascinating subject for scientists studying the evolution of moons and the dynamics of planetary systems. Fact 93. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is shrinking. The Great Red Spot on Jupiter, a massive storm that has been raging for centuries, is one of the most recognizable features in the solar system. However, recent observations have shown that this gigantic storm is gradually shrinking. Once large enough to fit 3 Earths side by side, the Great Red Spot is now only big enough to fit 1.3 Earths. The storm's winds still blow at speeds of up to 432 km per hour, 268 miles per hour, but scientists are puzzled by the reason for its shrinkage. Some theories suggest that changes in the atmosphere or energy dynamics on Jupiter could be responsible, while others believe the storm might eventually dissipate entirely. Despite its reduction in size, the Great Red Spot remains an iconic and intriguing feature of our solar system's largest planet. Fact 94. The Kuiper Belt is home to Pluto and other dwarf planets. The Kuiper Belt is a vast region of space beyond Neptune, extending from about 30 to 55 astronomical units from the Sun. It is home to many icy bodies, including dwarf planets like Pluto, Haumea, Makemake, and Eris. The objects in the Kuiper Belt are remnants from the early solar system, making this region a cosmic time capsule filled with clues about how the planets formed. The New Horizons spacecraft, which flew by Pluto in 2015, has provided valuable insights into this distant part of the solar system, revealing the complex geology and potential for interesting chemical processes. Beyond the Kuiper Belt lies the scattered disk and the Oort cloud, regions that mark the outermost boundaries of the solar system. Studying these dwarf planets and their surroundings helps scientists understand the evolution of the solar system's outermost regions. Fact 95. Earth is the densest planet in the solar system. Though Earth is not the largest planet in the solar system, it is the densest. Earth has an average density of 5.52 grams per cubic centimeter, making it the densest planet, followed closely by Mercury. The high density of Earth is due to its iron-nickel core and the heavy elements that make up its mantle and crust. Despite being composed mostly of gases, the larger planets like Jupiter and Saturn are less dense because their gas layers are much less compact. Earth's dense, rocky structure is a result of its formation process and the differentiation that occurred as heavier elements sank to the core while lighter materials remained closer to the surface. This density contributes to Earth's strong gravity and plays a crucial role in maintaining its atmosphere and sustaining life. Fact 96. Earth's magnetic field flips every few 100,000 years. Earth's magnetic field, which protects the planet from solar radiation, isn't static. Over the course of Earth's history, the magnetic poles have flipped, meaning the north and south poles switch places. This phenomenon, known as a geomagnetic reversal, happens roughly every 200,000 to 300,000 years, although the timing is irregular, with some periods lasting much longer. The most recent reversal occurred about 780,000 years ago, during what is known as the Brunhas-Matayama reversal. During a reversal, the magnetic field weakens, but scientists believe that Earth's atmosphere would still provide some protection from solar and cosmic radiation. Geomagnetic reversals are recorded in the magnetic minerals of rocks and have been studied through paleomagnetism, offering insights into Earth's geological and magnetic history. Understanding these flips is crucial for predicting how future reversals might affect technological systems that rely on Earth's magnetic field. Fact 97. The solar system is moving at 828,000 km per hour. The entire solar system, including Earth, is hurtling through space at an astonishing speed of 828,000 km per hour, 514,000 miles per hour. This rapid motion is due to the solar system's orbit around the center of the Milky Way galaxy, which takes about 230 million years to complete. The Sun, along with all the planets, moves in a spiral pattern as it orbits the galaxy's center, influenced by the galaxy's massive gravitational forces. Despite the high speed, we don't feel this motion because everything in the solar system, planets, moons, and even comets, is moving along at the same velocity. This movement through space adds an incredible layer of complexity to understanding our place in the universe, as we are not only revolving around the Sun but also traversing vast distances through the galaxy. Fact 98. Mars has the largest canyon in the solar system. Mars is home to Val Marinaris, the largest canyon in the solar system. This colossal system of canyons stretches for over 4,000 kilometers, 2,500 miles, roughly the distance across the United States. Val Marinaris is also 7 kilometers, 4.3 miles, deep in some areas, making it more than 3 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. Scientists believe that the canyon was formed by tectonic forces, possibly due to the stretching and cracking of Mars's crust, combined with volcanic activity from the nearby Tharsis region. Erosion may have also played a role in shaping its current form. Val Marinaris is a key area of interest for scientists studying Mars, as it offers clues about the planet's geological history and the processes that shaped its surface. Future missions to Mars may explore this canyon to better understand its origins and the role water might have played in its formation. Fact 99. Venus rotates in the opposite direction of most planets. Venus is unique in the solar system because it rotates in the opposite direction to most other planets. This phenomenon is known as retrograde rotation, meaning that if you were standing on Venus, you would see the sun rise in the west and set in the east. Venus's rotation is also incredibly slow, taking about 243 Earth days to complete one full rotation, making its day longer than its year, which lasts only 225 Earth days. The reason for Venus's retrograde rotation is still a subject of scientific investigation, but many researchers believe it could be the result of a massive collision with another celestial object early in the planet's history. This collision might have flipped the planet's rotation direction or caused it to slow down significantly. Venus's unusual rotation adds to the many mysteries of this harsh, greenhouse effect-ridden planet. Fact 100. The coldest place in the universe is the Boomerang Nebula. The Boomerang Nebula, located about 5,000 light-years from Earth, holds the record as the coldest place in the universe. This nebula has a temperature of 272 degrees Celsius, 457.6 degrees Fahrenheit, just 1 degree above absolute zero, the coldest temperature possible where all molecular motion stops. The nebula is a pre-planetary nebula, meaning it is in the process of evolving from a dying star to a planetary nebula. Its frigid temperatures are due to the rapid expansion of gas from the central star, which cools as it moves outward. The nebula's name comes from its shape, which astronomers first observed as being similar to a boomerang, though later images from the Atacama Large Millimeter, Submillimeter Array, ALMA, revealed it to be more hourglass-shaped. The Boomerang Nebula provides scientists with valuable insights into the life cycle of stars and the physics of extreme cold in space. Fact 101. The Moon has no atmosphere to protect it. Unlike Earth, the Moon has virtually no atmosphere, which means it lacks the protective shield that Earth has to block harmful solar radiation and prevent meteorites from hitting its surface. Without an atmosphere, the Moon experiences extreme temperature variations, ranging from 127 degrees Celsius, 260 degrees Fahrenheit, during the day to 173 degrees Celsius, 280 degrees Fahrenheit, at night. The absence of an atmosphere also means there is no weather on the Moon, no wind, rain, or storms to erode its surface. This is why footprints left by astronauts during the Apollo missions remain perfectly preserved. The Moon's lack of atmosphere makes it a harsh and barren environment, but it also provides scientists with a well-preserved record of the solar system's history, as impacts and space weathering have left their marks on the surface for billions of years. Fact 102. Mars has two small moons, Phobos and Deimos. Mars is orbited by two tiny moons, Phobos and Deimos, which are much smaller and irregularly shaped compared to Earth's moon. Phobos, the larger of the two, is only about 22.4 kilometers, 13.9 miles, in diameter, while Deimos is even smaller, at 12.4 kilometers, 7.7 miles, across. These moons are thought to be captured asteroids from the asteroid belt or possibly the Kuiper belt, pulled into Mars's orbit by its gravity. Phobos is slowly spiraling toward Mars and is expected to crash into the planet or break apart in about 50 million years, potentially forming a ring around Mars. Deimos, on the other hand, is slowly moving away from Mars. Both moons are heavily cratered and lack atmospheres, making them fascinating targets for study and understanding the origins and evolution of moons in our solar system. Fact 103. The Sun makes up 99.86% of the solar system's mass. The Sun is by far the dominant force in our solar system, accounting for 99.86% of its total mass. This immense mass generates the Sun's powerful gravitational field, which holds the planets, moons, comets, and asteroids in orbit. The Sun's mass is primarily composed of hydrogen, 74%, and helium, 24%, with the remaining 2% consisting of heavier elements. The Sun's gravity governs not only the motion of the planets but also the behavior of smaller objects, such as asteroids and comets. The fusion of hydrogen atoms into helium in the Sun's core produces the energy that radiates out as light and heat, fueling the entire solar system. Despite its enormous size, the Sun is considered a G-type main sequence star, and it will continue to burn for another 5 billion years before transitioning into a red giant. Fact 104, the fastest winds in the solar system are on Neptune. Neptune, the 8th planet from the Sun, has the fastest winds in the solar system, with speeds reaching up to 2,100 km per hour, 1,300 miles per hour. These supersonic winds occur within Neptune's atmosphere, which is composed mainly of hydrogen, helium, and methane. The exact cause of Neptune's extreme winds is still a mystery to scientists, as the planet is far from the Sun and receives very little solar energy. Some researchers believe the winds are driven by the planet's internal heat, which may create convective currents in its atmosphere. These high-speed winds contribute to the formation of massive storm systems, such as the Great Dark Spot, a storm similar to Jupiter's Great Red Spot but shorter-lived. Neptune's dynamic and violent weather patterns make it one of the most interesting planets in terms of atmospheric study. Fact 105, the largest structure in the universe is the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall is the largest known structure in the universe, spanning about 10 billion light-years across. This massive structure is a supercluster of galaxies, meaning it's a collection of thousands of galaxies bound together by gravity. The size of this structure is so enormous that it challenges existing models of the universe's formation, as such large formations shouldn't exist according to some theories of cosmic evolution. The Great Wall was discovered in 2013 using data from gamma-ray bursts, which are some of the most energetic events in the universe. Its discovery has sparked further research into how such colossal structures could form and persist in a universe governed by gravity and dark energy. The existence of such a vast formation shows just how intricate and interconnected the large-scale structure of the universe truly is. Fact 106, Mercury has the most eccentric orbit of any planet. Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, has the most eccentric orbit of any planet in the solar system. This means that Mercury's orbit is more elliptical than circular, causing its distance from the Sun to vary significantly over the course of its year. At perihelion, the closest point to the Sun, Mercury is about 46 million kilometers, 29 million miles, away, but at aphelion, the farthest point, it's about 70 million kilometers, 43 million miles, away. This elliptical orbit contributes to Mercury's extreme temperature fluctuations, with daytime temperatures soaring to 427 degrees Celsius, 800 degrees Fahrenheit, and nighttime temperatures plummeting to 180 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit. The planet's eccentric orbit, combined with its slow rotation and lack of atmosphere, makes Mercury a fascinating but challenging object for scientists to study and explore. Fact 107, the solar wind creates a bubble around the solar system. The solar wind, a stream of charged particles emitted by the Sun, creates a vast protective bubble around the solar system known as the heliosphere. The heliosphere extends far beyond Pluto's orbit and serves as a barrier that shields the solar system from cosmic rays, high-energy particles that come from outside the solar system. As the solar wind pushes against the interstellar medium, the boundary where the solar wind's influence ends is called the heliopause. NASA's Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 spacecraft have both crossed the heliopause, entering interstellar space. The heliosphere plays a crucial role in protecting the planets, including Earth, from harmful cosmic radiation, and studying it helps scientists understand the Sun's interaction with the galaxy and the broader dynamics of our cosmic environment. Fact 108, the Moon is moving away from Earth. The Moon is gradually drifting away from Earth at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters, 1.5 inches, per year. This is due to tidal interactions between Earth and the Moon, where Earth's rotation causes tidal bulges that pull the Moon slightly forward in its orbit. As a result, the Moon gains energy and moves into a higher orbit. This slow separation has been occurring for billions of years, and it's thought that when the Moon first formed, it was much closer to Earth. Over time, the increasing distance between Earth and the Moon will lengthen Earth's days and change the dynamics of solar eclipses. In a few billion years, the Moon will be too far away to completely cover the Sun, meaning there will no longer be total solar eclipses visible from Earth. Fact 109, The Sun emits solar flares and coronal mass ejections. The Sun regularly produces solar flares and coronal mass ejections, CMEs, both of which are powerful bursts of energy and particles that can have significant effects on space weather. Solar flares are sudden flashes of brightness on the Sun's surface, caused by the release of magnetic energy stored in sunspots. CMEs, on the other hand, are large expulsions of plasma and magnetic fields from the Sun's corona. When directed toward Earth, these events can cause geomagnetic storms, which can affect satellite communications, GPS signals, and even power grids. Additionally, solar flares and CMEs can produce auroras, the northern and southern lights, when charged particles from the Sun interact with Earth's magnetic field. Scientists monitor the Sun's activity closely to predict space weather and protect technology from these solar outbursts. Fact 110, the Milky Way will eventually merge with the Andromeda Galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy and the Andromeda Galaxy are on a slow collision course and are expected to merge in about 4.5 billion years. Both galaxies are part of the local group and are being pulled toward each other by gravity. When the collision occurs, the two galaxies will not collide in the sense of stars crashing into each other, as the distances between stars are vast. Instead, they will pass through one another, and gravitational interactions will cause their shapes to distort. Over time, the Milky Way and Andromeda will merge to form a new galaxy, sometimes referred to as Milkomeda. This galactic merger will significantly reshape the night sky, as Andromeda becomes more visible in the lead-up to the event, offering a unique glimpse into galactic evolution for future observers. Fact 111, the Solar System is located in the Orion arm of the Milky Way. The Solar System is located in a spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy known as the Orion arm, sometimes called the Orion Cygnus arm or the local spur. This arm is a minor spiral arm located between two major arms of the Milky Way, the Sagittarius arm and the Perseus arm. The Orion arm is about 3,500 light-years across and contains numerous stars, nebulae, and other celestial objects. The Solar System is situated about 27,000 light-years from the galactic center, where a supermassive black hole, Sagittarius A*, resides. The position of the Solar System in this relatively quiet region of the galaxy has likely played a role in Earth's ability to support life, as it is far from the dangerous environments near the galactic core, where radiation levels are much higher. Fact 112, the asteroid belt contains dwarf planets. Ceres. The asteroid belt, located between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, is home to a vast number of rocky and metallic objects, including Ceres, the largest object in the belt. Ceres is classified as a dwarf planet and is about 940 kilometers, 584 miles, in diameter. It was the first object discovered in the asteroid belt, in 1801, and was initially considered a planet before being reclassified. Ceres has a composition similar to that of a rocky planet, with a crust of ice and possibly liquid water beneath its surface. The presence of water ice on Ceres makes it an intriguing candidate for the study of habitability in the early solar system, and scientists are investigating whether the dwarf planet could have once supported microbial life. NASA's Dawn mission provided detailed images and data about Ceres, revealing its cratered surface and mysterious bright spots. Fact 113, the first exoplanet was discovered in 1992. The first confirmed discovery of an exoplanet, a planet outside our solar system, was made in 1992. Astronomers Alexander Walshchan and Dale Frail detected two planets orbiting a pulsar, a rapidly spinning neutron star, known as PSRB 1257+12. These planets, known as pulsar planets, are unusual because they orbit a dead star, rather than a typical main-sequence star like the Sun. Since that groundbreaking discovery, thousands of exoplanets have been found, most orbiting stars in our galaxy. Many of these exoplanets were discovered using the transit method, where a planet passes in front of its host star, causing a temporary dip in brightness. The search for exoplanets has expanded rapidly, with missions like Kepler and TESS identifying thousands of potential worlds, some of which may lie in their star's habitable zone, where conditions could allow for liquid water and potentially life. Fact 114, the Solar System is 4.6 billion years old. The Solar System is approximately 4.6 billion years old, formed from the gravitational collapse of a giant molecular cloud. The Sun formed at the center of this collapse, and the remaining material flattened into a protoplanetary disk from which the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets formed. Over time, these objects coalesced and cleared their orbits, shaping the solar system as we know it today. The age of the solar system has been determined through radiometric dating of meteorites, which are thought to be remnants of the early solar system. These dating techniques reveal the timeline of formation for the planets and the Sun, giving scientists a clearer understanding of the processes that led to the creation of the solar system and its development over billions of years. Fact 115, Saturn's moon Titan has a thick atmosphere. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is unique in the solar system because it has a thick atmosphere composed mostly of nitrogen, similar to Earth's atmosphere. Titan's atmosphere also contains significant amounts of methane and ethane, which lead to methane rain and the formation of lakes and rivers on its surface. With a surface pressure 1.5 times that of Earth's, Titan's atmosphere creates weather patterns, including seasonal changes and wind, much like Earth. Titan's surface temperature, however, is extremely cold, averaging around 179 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit, which means that instead of liquid water, the lakes and rivers are filled with liquid methane and ethane. Scientists are particularly interested in Titan because its chemical makeup and atmosphere make it one of the best candidates for studying prebiotic chemistry and the potential for life in environments vastly different from Earth's. Fact 116, Neptune is known for its dynamic and stormy atmosphere. Neptune, the eighth and farthest known planet from the Sun, has one of the most dynamic and stormy atmospheres in the solar system. The planet is characterized by powerful winds, with speeds reaching up to 2,100 km per hour, 1,300 miles per hour, making them the fastest winds in the solar system. Neptune's atmosphere is composed mainly of hydrogen, helium, and methane, with the methane giving the planet its striking blue color. One of Neptune's most famous storms, known as the Great Dark Spot, was observed by the Voyager 2 spacecraft in 1989, though the storm later disappeared. Despite its distance from the Sun and relatively low energy input, Neptune's internal heat contributes to its turbulent weather systems, creating a highly dynamic and ever-changing atmosphere. Fact 117, Earth's atmosphere contains layers that protect life. Earth's atmosphere is composed of several distinct layers, each with its own unique properties that protect life on the planet. These layers are the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. The troposphere is the lowest layer, where all weather occurs, and it extends up to about 12 kilometers, 7.5 miles, above sea level. Above this, the stratosphere contains the ozone layer, which absorbs and blocks harmful ultraviolet, UV, radiation from the Sun, protecting living organisms from its damaging effects. The mesosphere is where most meteors burn up upon entering Earth's atmosphere, and the thermosphere is home to the auroras and the International Space Station. Finally, the exosphere is the outermost layer, where particles can escape into space. Each of these layers plays a crucial role in maintaining Earth's climate, supporting life, and protecting the planet from external threats like solar radiation and space debris. Fact 118, Jupiter's moon Europa might harbor life beneath its icy surface. Europa, one of Jupiter's largest moons, is considered one of the most promising places in the solar system to potentially harbor life. Beneath its thick crust of ice lies a vast subsurface ocean that is kept warm by the tidal forces exerted by Jupiter's immense gravity. These tidal forces generate heat through friction within Europa's interior, preventing the water from freezing solid and creating conditions that could support microbial life. NASA's upcoming Europa Clipper mission, set to launch in the 2020s, will investigate Europa's ice shell and subsurface ocean, looking for signs of habitability and possibly even life. Europa's ocean is thought to contain more than twice the amount of water found in all of Earth's oceans combined, making it a prime target in the search for extraterrestrial life in our solar system. Fact 119, Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system. Although Neptune is farther from the Sun, Uranus holds the title of the coldest planet in the solar system. Temperatures on Uranus can drop as low as 224 degrees Celsius, 371 degrees Fahrenheit, making it the coldest of all the planets. Uranus's extreme cold is attributed to the lack of significant internal heat compared to other gas giants like Jupiter and Neptune, which emit more heat than they receive from the Sun. Uranus's atmosphere, composed mainly of hydrogen, helium, and methane, is incredibly frigid and produces only weak weather patterns, unlike the dynamic atmospheres of Jupiter and Saturn. Uranus's axial tilt of 98 degrees also contributes to its unusual weather, causing extreme seasonal variations where one hemisphere experiences 42 years of continuous sunlight followed by 42 years of darkness. Fact 120. Mercury has no moons or rings. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system and the closest to the Sun, but it has no moons or rings. This lack of moons is likely due to its proximity to the Sun. The Sun's powerful gravity would make it difficult for Mercury to capture a moon or retain rings. The absence of rings or moons also sets Mercury apart from other planets in the inner solar system, such as Earth and Mars, which have one or more moons. The study of why Mercury lacks these features provides insights into the dynamics of planetary formation and the influence of the Sun's gravitational forces on nearby objects. Fact 121. Saturn's rings are mostly made of water ice. Saturn's iconic rings are primarily composed of water ice, with smaller amounts of rocky material and dust. The ice particles in the rings range in size from tiny grains to large chunks as big as houses. These icy particles reflect sunlight, giving Saturn's rings their bright appearance when viewed from Earth. Scientists believe that the rings may have formed from the remnants of a moon or comet that was torn apart by Saturn's gravity. Despite their beauty, Saturn's rings are relatively young in cosmic terms, estimated to be between 10 million and 100 million years old. Over time, the particles in the rings are slowly being pulled into Saturn by gravity, meaning the rings may eventually disappear. Fact 122. The largest moon in the solar system is Ganymede. Ganymede, one of Jupiter's moons, is the largest moon in the solar system, even bigger than the planet Mercury. Ganymede has a diameter of 5,268 kilometers, 3,273 miles, making it the only moon known to have a magnetic field. Its surface is a mix of two types of terrain, highly cratered dark regions and lighter, grooved areas that suggest tectonic activity. Beneath its icy crust, scientists believe Ganymede may have a subsurface ocean containing more water than all of Earth's oceans combined. Ganymede's size and unique features make it an important target for study, especially in understanding the potential for life in the outer solar system. NASA's Juno mission and the upcoming JUICE mission from the European Space Agency aim to explore Ganymede further. Fact 123. The Earth's magnetic field protects us from solar winds. Earth's magnetic field, generated by the movement of molten iron in its outer core, creates a protective shield around the planet called the magnetosphere. This shield deflects the solar wind, a stream of charged particles from the Sun, and prevents it from stripping away Earth's atmosphere. Without the magnetic field, these solar winds could erode our atmosphere over time, leaving Earth vulnerable to harmful cosmic radiation, much like what happened to Mars, which has a very weak magnetic field. The magnetosphere also causes auroras, the beautiful light displays near the poles, as solar particles collide with atmospheric gases. Understanding the magnetic field is crucial, as changes or weakening in it could have significant impacts on technology and climate. Fact 124. The Sun is middle-aged in stellar terms at 4.6 billion years old. The Sun is considered a middle-aged star, currently in the middle of its life cycle. The Sun is a G-type main sequence star, or yellow dwarf, and it has been fusing hydrogen into helium in its core for billions of years. It is expected to continue doing so for about 5 billion more years. After that, the Sun will exhaust its hydrogen fuel, expand into a red giant, and eventually shed its outer layers, leaving behind a dense core known as a white dwarf. This stellar evolution is common for stars of the Sun's mass. The future transformation of the Sun is key to understanding the long-term future of the solar system. Fact 125. Venus experiences a runaway greenhouse effect. Venus is often referred to as Earth's twin, due to its similar size and composition, but its climate couldn't be more different. Venus experiences a runaway greenhouse effect, where its thick atmosphere, composed mainly of carbon dioxide, traps heat. As a result, Venus's surface temperatures soar to an average of 465 degrees Celsius, 869 degrees Fahrenheit, making it the hottest planet in the solar system. Clouds of sulfuric acid cover the planet, reflecting sunlight but also trapping heat below, preventing it from escaping. This runaway greenhouse effect has made Venus's surface hostile, with crushing atmospheric pressure that is about 90 times greater than Earth's. Studying Venus helps scientists understand how climate and atmospheric composition can drastically affect a planet's environment, offering important lessons for Earth's climate. Fact 126, Neptune's blue color comes from methane. Neptune's striking blue color is due to the methane in its atmosphere. While the planet's atmosphere is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, the small amount of methane gas absorbs red light from the sun and reflects the blue light, giving Neptune its distinctive hue. This is similar to Uranus, which also appears blue-green due to methane. Neptune's deeper blue color may result from an unknown component in its atmosphere, which is still being investigated by scientists. Despite being more than 4.5 billion kilometers, 2.8 billion miles, from the Sun, Neptune's vibrant color makes it one of the most visually striking planets in the solar system. Fact 127, Mars experiences dust storms that can last for months. Mars is known for its planet-wide dust storms, which can last for weeks or even months. These dust storms are the largest in the solar system and can cover the entire planet, sometimes blocking out sunlight and significantly lowering surface temperatures. The storms occur when the sun heats the Martian atmosphere, causing winds that lift fine dust particles from the surface. As more dust is lifted, the winds become stronger, creating a feedback loop that results in massive storms. The dust storms on Mars pose challenges for robotic missions like the Opportunity rover, which lost power due to a storm that blocked sunlight from reaching its solar panels. Understanding these storms is crucial for future human missions to Mars, as they could impact visibility, power generation, and equipment function. Fact 128, the solar system has a bow shock. The solar system moves through space as it orbits the center of the Milky Way galaxy, creating a bow shock similar to the wave formed by the bow of a ship moving through water. The solar wind, a stream of charged particles emitted by the sun, pushes against the interstellar medium, gas and dust that fills the space between stars. This interaction creates a bow shock in front of the heliosphere, the protective bubble around the solar system. The bow shock is located billions of kilometers from Earth and marks the boundary where the solar wind slows down as it collides with the interstellar medium. The Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 spacecraft have passed through this region, providing valuable data on the structure and dynamics of the heliosphere and the surrounding interstellar environment. Fact 129, Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, is also the smallest planet in the solar system, with a diameter of just 4,880 kilometers, 3,032 miles. Despite its small size, Mercury is incredibly dense, with an iron core that makes up about 85% of the planet's radius. Because of its proximity to the Sun, temperatures on Mercury can reach 427 degrees Celsius, 800 degrees Fahrenheit, during the day, but since it has almost no atmosphere to retain heat, nighttime temperatures can drop to 180 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit. Mercury's small size and extreme temperature fluctuations make it a unique planet to study, and spacecraft like NASA's Messenger mission have provided detailed data about its surface, composition, and history. Fact 130, Pluto's heart-shaped region is made of frozen nitrogen. One of the most recognizable features of Pluto, the dwarf planet, is its large, heart-shaped region known as Tombaugh Regio. This region is primarily composed of frozen nitrogen, with traces of methane and carbon monoxide ices. The left side of the heart-shaped area is a vast plain of nitrogen ice called Sputnik Planitia, which may be the result of an ancient impact crater. Interestingly, this region appears to be geologically active, with evidence of glacial flows and convection currents beneath the surface. The New Horizons mission, which flew by Pluto in 2015, captured detailed images of this iconic region, providing scientists with a wealth of information about Pluto's surface and atmospheric conditions. Fact 131, the Oort cloud is the most distant region of the solar system. The Oort cloud is a theoretical cloud of icy objects that surrounds the solar system at distances ranging from 2,000 to 100,000 astronomical units, from the Sun. It is thought to be the source of long-period comets, which take more than 200 years to complete their orbits around the Sun. The Oort cloud has never been directly observed, but its existence is inferred from the behavior of comets and the dynamics of the solar system. Objects in the Oort cloud are remnants from the early solar system, and they have been scattered to the outer edges by the gravitational influence of the gas giants. The study of the Oort cloud helps scientists understand the processes that shape the solar system and the nature of distant, icy bodies. Fact 132, Saturn has 83 known moons. Saturn, the second largest planet in the solar system, has an impressive collection of 83 moons, as of recent counts, more than any other planet, surpassing even Jupiter. These moons vary greatly in size, ranging from tiny moonlets only a few kilometers across to Titan, the second largest moon in the solar system. Titan, with a thick nitrogen-rich atmosphere and lakes of liquid methane and ethane, is one of the most intriguing moons for scientists, as it could potentially harbor life. Other notable moons include Enceladus, which has active geysers that shoot water vapor and ice particles into space, and Rhea, which may have a thin ring system of its own. The sheer number and diversity of Saturn's moons make it a rich area of study for understanding planetary formation and the potential for life beyond Earth. Fact 133, the Milky Way contains at least 100 billion stars. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, is a barred spiral galaxy that contains an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars. The vast majority of these stars are red dwarfs, small and cool stars that are much fainter than our Sun. The Milky Way also contains a supermassive black hole at its center, known as Sagittarius A*, which exerts a strong gravitational influence on the surrounding stars. The Milky Way is one of billions of galaxies in the universe, and it is part of the Local Group, a collection of over 54 galaxies. Despite being so vast, our galaxy is just a small part of the observable universe, which contains billions of other galaxies, each with their own collection of stars and planets. Fact 134, Voyager 2 is the only spacecraft to visit Uranus and Neptune. Voyager 2, launched by NASA in 1977, is the only spacecraft to have flown by Uranus and Neptune. In 1986, Voyager 2 made its closest approach to Uranus, discovering 10 new moons, studying the planet's magnetic field, and observing its faint ring system. In 1989, Voyager 2 flew by Neptune, providing the first detailed images of the planet and its largest moon, Triton, which was found to have geysers of nitrogen gas erupting from its surface. Voyager 2's journey through the outer solar system has provided invaluable data about these distant worlds, which are still largely unexplored. After its flybys, Voyager 2 continued its mission and is now in interstellar space, providing data about the outermost boundaries of the Sun's influence. Fact 135, Earth's moon was likely formed from a giant impact. The most widely accepted theory about the moon's formation is the giant impact hypothesis, which suggests that the moon was created after a Mars-sized object, often referred to as Theia, collided with the early Earth about 4.5 billion years ago. This impact ejected massive amounts of debris into orbit around Earth, which eventually coalesced to form the moon. This theory explains why the moon's composition is similar to Earth's outer layers, as well as why the moon is much less dense than Earth. The formation of the moon also had significant effects on Earth, including stabilizing its axial tilt, which is important for the development of seasons and a relatively stable climate, which could have contributed to the evolution of life on our planet. Fact 136, Jupiter is so large it could fit 1,300 Earths inside. Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, is a gas giant with a volume so vast that it could fit 1,300 Earths inside it. Its diameter is 11 times larger than Earth's, measuring about 142,984 kilometers, 88,846 miles. Despite its enormous size, Jupiter is mostly composed of hydrogen and helium, with a small rocky core. Its large size gives it an immense gravitational field, which affects not only its moons but also nearby asteroids and comets, helping to protect Earth from potential impacts. Jupiter's mass is more than 2.5 times that of all the other planets in the solar system combined, and its rapid rotation creates intense storms, including the famous Great Red Spot, a storm that has been raging for centuries. Fact 137, the Milky Way is on a collision course with Andromeda. The Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy are on a collision course and are expected to collide in about 4.5 billion years. Both galaxies are spiral galaxies and part of the Local Group, which also includes several smaller galaxies. The collision won't be as catastrophic as it might sound because the vast distances between stars mean that individual stars are unlikely to collide. Instead, the gravitational interaction will cause the galaxies to merge, forming a new, larger galaxy sometimes referred to as Milkomeda. This galactic merger will significantly reshape the structure of both galaxies and change the night sky for any future civilizations that may exist at that time. Fact 138, Saturn could float in water due to its low density. Saturn, the second largest planet in the solar system, has such a low density that it could theoretically float in water, if you could find a body of water large enough. Saturn's density is only 0.687 grams per cubic centimeter, which is less than the density of water, 1 gram per cubic centimeter. This low density is due to the fact that Saturn is composed primarily of hydrogen and helium, both of which are very light gases. Despite its massive size, Saturn's composition gives it an overall density lower than water. This fact emphasizes how gas giants like Saturn are very different from rocky planets like Earth, which are much denser due to their solid composition. Fact 139, the Sun's core is about 15 million degrees Celsius. The core of the Sun is where the process of nuclear fusion occurs, generating the energy that powers the Sun and provides light and warmth to the solar system. The temperature at the Sun's core is estimated to be around 15 million degrees Celsius, 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. In the core, hydrogen atoms are fused together to form helium, releasing vast amounts of energy in the process. This energy radiates outward from the core, through the radiative zone and convective zone, before finally reaching the Sun's surface and being emitted as light and heat. This fusion process is what has kept the Sun shining for the past 4.6 billion years, and it is expected to continue for another 5 billion years before the Sun enters its red giant phase. Fact 140, Uranus rotates on its side. Uranus is unique among the planets in the solar system because it rotates on its side. While most planets rotate with their axes more or less perpendicular to the plane of their orbit, Uranus's axis is tilted at an angle of 98 degrees, meaning it essentially rolls around the Sun. This extreme tilt is thought to have been caused by a collision with a planet-sized object early in the planet's history. As a result, Uranus experiences extreme seasons, with each pole getting 42 years of continuous sunlight followed by 42 years of darkness. The unusual rotation also affects the planet's weather and atmospheric dynamics, making Uranus a fascinating subject for scientists studying the effects of axial tilt on planetary environments. Fact 141, the Sun will eventually become a red giant in about 5 billion years. The Sun will enter the red giant phase as it exhausts the hydrogen fuel in its core. When this happens, the Sun's outer layers will expand dramatically, possibly engulfing the inner planets, including Mercury and Venus, and even Earth. The Sun's expansion will cause it to lose a significant amount of mass, which will affect the orbits of the remaining planets. During this phase, the Sun will be much larger and cooler on its surface, glowing with a reddish hue. Eventually, the outer layers will be ejected into space, creating a planetary nebula, while the Sun's core will collapse into a white dwarf, a dense, dim remnant of its former self. This process is a natural part of the life cycle for stars like the Sun, and it gives scientists insights into the future of the solar system. Fact 142, the largest volcano in the solar system is Olympus Mons on Mars. Olympus Mons, located on Mars, is the largest volcano in the solar system, standing about 22 kilometers, 13.6 miles, high, which is nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest. Its base spans approximately 600 kilometers, 373 miles, across, making it larger than the entire state of Arizona. Olympus Mons is a shield volcano, formed by successive lava flows that have built up over millions of years. Its gentle slopes are characteristic of this type of volcano, which is similar to those found in Hawaii. Despite its massive size, Olympus Mons is thought to be relatively young in geological terms, and it may still be capable of erupting, although no active eruptions have been observed. The sheer scale of Olympus Mons demonstrates the volcanic activity that once shaped the Martian landscape. Fact 143, the Andromeda Galaxy is visible to the naked eye. The Andromeda Galaxy, the closest large galaxy to the Milky Way, is so large and bright that it is visible to the naked eye from Earth, even though it is about 2.5 million light-years away. It appears as a faint, blurry patch in the night sky, best seen from dark locations far from city lights. Andromeda is a spiral galaxy, similar to the Milky Way, and it contains hundreds of billions of stars. Over the next few billion years, the Andromeda Galaxy will gradually become more prominent in the night sky as it moves closer to the Milky Way, eventually merging with it. This visible galaxy is a reminder of the vastness of the universe and our place within a dynamic cosmic environment. Fact 144, the solar system's largest canyon is Val Marineris on Mars. Val Marineris, located on Mars, is the largest canyon system in the solar system. It stretches for about 4,000 kilometers, 2,500 miles, making it nearly as long as the continental United States. The canyon is up to 7 kilometers, 4.3 miles, deep and 200 kilometers, 125 miles, wide in some places. Scientists believe Val Marineris formed through a combination of tectonic activity, volcanic forces, and erosion over billions of years. Unlike the Grand Canyon on Earth, which was carved by water, Val Marineris may have formed due to the stretching and cracking of Mars's crust. The canyon's massive size and complexity make it a key area of interest for studying Mars's geological history and the potential for past water flow on the planet. Fact 145. Neptune's moon Triton has ice volcanoes. Triton, the largest moon of Neptune, is one of the most unusual objects in the solar system because it has ice volcanoes, also known as cryovolcanoes. These volcanoes erupt with substances like water, ammonia, or methane instead of molten rock, which then freeze almost immediately due to Triton's extremely cold surface temperatures of around 235 degrees Celsius, 391 degrees Fahrenheit. Triton is also unique because it orbits Neptune in a retrograde direction, meaning it moves in the opposite direction of Neptune's rotation. Scientists believe Triton was likely a captured Kuiper belt object, which explains its odd characteristics. The discovery of ice volcanoes on Triton suggests that the moon may have a subsurface ocean beneath its icy crust, raising intriguing possibilities about its potential for harboring life. Fact 146. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs struck Earth 66 million years ago. About 66 million years ago, a 10-kilometer wide asteroid struck Earth near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, creating the Chicxulub crater. This impact is widely believed to have caused the mass extinction event that wiped out 75% of Earth's species, including the non-avian dinosaurs. The asteroid's collision released an enormous amount of energy, equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs, sending shockwaves around the globe and triggering massive wildfires, tsunamis, and a nuclear winter effect that blocked sunlight for years. This dramatic climate change led to the collapse of ecosystems and the extinction of many species. Evidence of the impact is found in a layer of iridium, a rare element associated with asteroids, that appears in geological records around the world. Fact 147. The Earth's core is responsible for our magnetic field. The Earth's core consists of a solid inner core and a liquid outer core, both primarily composed of iron and nickel. The movement of the liquid outer core creates electrical currents, which generate Earth's magnetic field. This magnetic field extends far into space, creating a region known as the magnetosphere, which protects the planet from harmful solar radiation and cosmic rays. The magnetic field also plays a crucial role in navigation, as it causes the needle of a compass to point north. Scientists believe that the dynamics of the core are responsible for geomagnetic reversals, where the magnetic poles switch places. The study of Earth's core and its magnetic properties helps us understand not only the planet's internal structure but also how the magnetic field has changed over time. Fact 148. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is a giant storm. The Great Red Spot on Jupiter is a massive storm that has been raging for at least 350 years. It is large enough to fit 3 Earths side by side and has winds that reach speeds of up to 432 km per hour, 268 miles per hour. The storm's reddish color is believed to be due to chemicals in Jupiter's atmosphere reacting to the sun's ultraviolet light, though the exact cause of the color remains a mystery. The storm has been shrinking over the past few decades, but it remains one of the most prominent features in the solar system. The study of the Great Red Spot offers insights into the atmospheric dynamics of gas giants and the long-term behavior of planetary storms. Fact 149. The Sun contains 99.86% of the solar system's mass. The Sun makes up 99.86% of the total mass of the solar system, making it the dominant gravitational force. This immense mass, about 330,000 times that of Earth, governs the orbits of the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets. The Sun is composed mainly of hydrogen, about 74%, and helium, about 24%, with trace amounts of heavier elements. Its mass allows it to sustain nuclear fusion in its core, where hydrogen atoms are fused into helium, releasing vast amounts of energy. This process is what powers the Sun and provides the heat and light that sustain life on Earth. The Sun's mass and its role as the center of the solar system are critical to the structure and stability of our planetary system. Fact 150, Venus spins backward compared to most planets. Unlike most planets in the solar system, which rotate counterclockwise on their axis, Venus rotates in the opposite direction, a phenomenon known as retrograde rotation. On Venus, the Sun rises in the west and sets in the east. A day on Venus, one full rotation, is also incredibly long, lasting about 243 Earth days, while a year on Venus, one orbit around the Sun, takes only 225 Earth days. This means a day on Venus is longer than its year. Scientists believe this unusual rotation could be the result of a collision with a massive object early in Venus's history, which caused the planet to flip its axis or drastically alter its rotation. Understanding Venus's retrograde spin helps scientists explore the diversity of planetary systems and how collisions can impact a planet's evolution. Fact 151, the Kuiper Belt contains thousands of icy objects. The Kuiper Belt is a region of space beyond Neptune's orbit that contains thousands of icy bodies, including dwarf planets like Pluto, Haumea, and Makemake. These objects, known as Kuiper Belt objects, KBOs, are remnants from the early solar system, similar to the asteroid belt but much farther out and composed of more icy materials. The Kuiper Belt is home to a variety of objects ranging from small icy fragments to larger bodies, and it is believed to be the source of short-period comets, which have orbits that bring them close to the Sun every 200 years or less. Studying KBOs helps scientists understand the formation of the solar system and the processes that shape the outer regions of our cosmic neighborhood. Fact 152, the largest known exoplanet is over twice the size of Jupiter. The largest known exoplanet, HD 100546b, is a gas giant more than twice the size of Jupiter. Located about 320 light-years away in the constellation Musca, HD 100546b orbits a young star and is still in the process of forming. The planet is so large that scientists initially debated whether it was a planet or a brown dwarf, a failed star, but further observations confirmed it as a massive planet. The discovery of such large exoplanets challenges current models of planetary formation, especially regarding how such massive planets can form so far from their host stars. HD 100546b continues to be a subject of intense study as astronomers seek to learn more about its composition, formation, and potential atmosphere. Fact 153, Mars has the tallest known mountain in the solar system. Olympus Mons, located on Mars, is the tallest known volcano and mountain in the solar system. Standing at 22 kilometers, 13.6 miles, high, it is nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest, Earth's tallest mountain. The base of Olympus Mons is equally impressive, stretching about 600 kilometers, 373 miles, across, which is roughly the size of the state of Arizona. As a shield volcano, Olympus Mons formed from the gradual flow of lava over millions of years, creating its massive size and gentle slopes. It is considered a relatively young feature on Mars, and there is a possibility that it could still be geologically active, although no eruptions have been recorded in modern times. Fact 154, Saturn's moon Enceladus has water geysers. Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, is covered in a thick layer of ice, but beneath that surface lies a global ocean of liquid water. The moon is known for its water geysers, which shoot plumes of water vapor, ice particles, and organic molecules into space from cracks near its south pole. These geysers, powered by heat generated from tidal forces exerted by Saturn, have been observed by the Cassini spacecraft and are thought to originate from a subsurface ocean beneath the icy crust. The discovery of these geysers makes Enceladus one of the prime candidates in the search for extraterrestrial life, as the presence of water and organic compounds could provide the necessary ingredients for life to exist. Fact 155, the speed of light is the universe's ultimate speed limit. One of the most fundamental constants in physics is the speed of light, which is approximately 299,792 kilometers per second, 186,282 miles per second, in a vacuum. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, nothing can travel faster than the speed of light in a vacuum. As objects approach this speed, their mass increases, requiring more and more energy to accelerate further. This means that particles with mass, like electrons or protons, cannot reach or exceed the speed of light. Photons, the particles of light, are massless, which allows them to travel at this ultimate speed. The speed of light sets the limit for how fast information can be transmitted and how we observe distant objects in the universe, shaping our understanding of space and time. Fact 156. The Earth experiences Milankovitch cycles, which affect climate. Milankovitch cycles refer to the periodic changes in Earth's orbit and tilt, which affect the climate over tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of years. These cycles include variations in Earth's eccentricity, shape of the orbit, axial tilt, and precession, wobble in Earth's rotation. The changes in these factors affect the distribution of sunlight on Earth, contributing to long-term climate changes such as glacial and interglacial periods, ice ages. Understanding Milankovitch cycles is crucial for studying past climate patterns and predicting future trends, as they influence Earth's natural climate variability over geological timescales. Fact 157. Mars has frozen water at its poles. Mars has ice caps at both its north and south poles, primarily made of water ice mixed with carbon dioxide ice, dry ice. During the Martian winter, the poles are covered with frozen carbon dioxide, which sublimates in the summer, leaving behind water ice. The presence of water ice on Mars has significant implications for both the planet's climate history and the potential for future human exploration, as these ice reserves could be used as a resource. Recent studies suggest that there could be more water ice stored beneath the surface in other regions of Mars, making it a prime focus for research on the planet's habitability. Fact 158. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. Despite being the second planet from the Sun, Venus holds the title for the hottest planet in the solar system, with surface temperatures reaching a scorching 465 degrees Celsius, 869 degrees Fahrenheit. This extreme heat is due to Venus's thick atmosphere, composed mostly of carbon dioxide, which traps heat in a runaway greenhouse effect. Venus's dense cloud cover reflects sunlight, but the atmosphere's composition prevents the heat from escaping, resulting in its extremely high temperatures. These conditions make Venus one of the least hospitable places in the solar system for life as we know it, despite being similar in size and composition to Earth. Fact 159. Mercury has extreme temperature swings. Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, experiences some of the most extreme temperature variations in the solar system. During the day, surface temperatures can soar to 430 degrees Celsius, 800 degrees Fahrenheit, due to Mercury's lack of a significant atmosphere to regulate heat. However, at night, when the Sun's influence is gone, temperatures can plummet to 180 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit. This dramatic difference is caused by Mercury's slow rotation. One day on Mercury lasts about 59 Earth days, and its thin exosphere, which cannot trap heat. These extreme conditions make Mercury a fascinating object for study, as it reveals how planets without atmospheres or rapid rotation handle temperature changes. Fact 160. The Moon causes Earth's tides. The Moon is primarily responsible for creating the tides on Earth. As the Moon orbits our planet, its gravitational pull causes the oceans to bulge out toward the Moon, creating a high tide. On the opposite side of the Earth, another high tide occurs due to the inertia of the water. Low tides occur in the areas between these two high tides. The Sun also plays a role in tidal forces, but the Moon's influence is much stronger due to its closer proximity to Earth. Understanding tides is important for navigation, marine life, and coastal communities, as tides impact the movement of water and the ecosystems that rely on it. Fact 161. Jupiter's magnetic field is the strongest in the solar system. Jupiter has the strongest magnetic field of any planet in the solar system, about 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. This powerful magnetic field creates a massive magnetosphere, which extends millions of kilometers into space and traps charged particles, creating intense radiation belts. Jupiter's magnetic field is generated by its rapid rotation and the movement of metallic hydrogen deep within the planet. The field is so strong that it even influences some of Jupiter's moons, such as Io, which experiences volcanic activity due to the planet's magnetic interactions. Studying Jupiter's magnetic field provides insights into how gas giants generate such powerful fields and the role they play in shaping planetary environments. Fact 162. Saturn's moon Titan has lakes of liquid methane. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is unique in the solar system because it has lakes and seas of liquid methane and ethane on its surface. Due to Titan's extremely cold temperatures, which average around 179 degrees Celsius, 290 degrees Fahrenheit, these hydrocarbons exist in liquid form, filling large lakes and rivers much like water does on Earth. Kraken Mare, the largest known sea on Titan, is roughly the size of the Caspian Sea on Earth. The presence of these lakes, along with a thick nitrogen-rich atmosphere, makes Titan one of the most intriguing objects in the search for potential life in the solar system, as it shows that planets and moons can have liquid-based cycles similar to Earth's water cycle, but with entirely different chemicals. Fact 163, the ozone layer protects life on Earth. The ozone layer, a region in the Earth's stratosphere, contains a high concentration of ozone, O, molecules that absorb most of the sun's harmful ultraviolet, UV, radiation. Without the ozone layer, life on Earth would be exposed to much higher levels of UV radiation, which can cause skin cancer, cataracts, and damage to ecosystems, particularly in oceans where plankton, the foundation of the marine food chain, would be greatly affected. The ozone layer has faced challenges due to human-made chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, which have caused thinning or holes in certain regions, especially over the Antarctic. Thanks to international agreements like the Montreal Protocol, efforts to reduce the use of CFCs have helped the ozone layer slowly recover over the past few decades. Fact 164, the solar system travels around the Milky Way galaxy. The entire solar system is not stationary. It is moving through space, orbiting the center of the Milky Way galaxy. The solar system travels at an average speed of about 828,000 kilometers per hour, 514,000 miles per hour, completing one full orbit around the galaxy every 230 million years. This journey is sometimes called a galactic year. As the solar system moves, it encounters different environments within the galaxy, including regions of higher radiation and areas filled with gas and dust. This movement through the galaxy has likely played a role in shaping the solar system's history, including its interactions with nearby stars and interstellar material. Fact 165, the solar system resides in the Milky Way's habitable zone. The solar system is located in what is often referred to as the galactic habitable zone within the Milky Way. This region, much like the habitable zone around a star, is considered more favorable for life because it is far enough from the galaxy's center to avoid dangerous levels of cosmic radiation and supernova activity, but close enough to have access to essential elements like carbon and oxygen. This zone provides a balance of safety and the necessary elements for planetary formation and life. The Milky Way itself is a barred spiral galaxy, and the solar system is located in a relatively quiet part of the Orion Arm, providing a relatively stable environment for the development of life over billions of years. Fact 166, there is a gigantic reservoir of water in space. Astronomers have discovered the largest and farthest known reservoir of water in the universe, located around a distant quasar known as APM 08279+5255. This quasar is located 12 billion light-years away, and it contains at least 140 trillion times the amount of water found in all of Earth's oceans combined. The water is in the form of vapor and exists in a region surrounding the quasar, which is powered by a supermassive black hole. This discovery, made in 2011, provides insights into how water, one of the essential components for life, was present in the early universe, just 1.6 billion years after the Big Bang. Fact 167, Earth is the only known planet where plate tectonics occur. Plate tectonics, the process by which Earth's outer shell is divided into large, rigid plates that move over the underlying mantle, is unique to our planet. This process is responsible for many of Earth's geological features, including mountain ranges, earthquakes, and volcanoes. Plate tectonics also plays a critical role in the carbon cycle, helping to regulate Earth's climate over long periods. The movement of tectonic plates helps recycle carbon from the atmosphere into the Earth's crust, stabilizing the climate. No other planet in the solar system is currently known to have active plate tectonics, though scientists are studying planets like Mars and Venus to understand their geological histories and whether they once had tectonic activity. Fact 168, Earth's atmosphere extends far beyond the Moon. Though we often think of the atmosphere as ending just a few hundred kilometers above Earth, recent studies show that Earth's exosphere, the outermost layer of the atmosphere, extends much farther than previously thought. It stretches out to about 630,000 kilometers, 390,000 miles, which is more than twice the distance from Earth to the Moon. This region contains very sparse particles, mostly hydrogen, and is where Earth's atmosphere gradually merges into the vacuum of space. Although the density of particles is extremely low, this finding suggests that technically, the Moon is within the extended reach of Earth's atmosphere, although it is not dense enough to affect the lunar surface. Fact 169, Black holes can spaghettify objects. When an object gets too close to a black hole, the intense gravitational forces cause a phenomenon known as spaghettification. This occurs because the gravity on the side of the object closer to the black hole is much stronger than on the far side, stretching the object into a long, thin shape, like a strand of spaghetti. This extreme tidal force would pull apart any object, whether a planet, a star, or a spacecraft, as it crosses the event horizon, the point of no return. This phenomenon is also called tidal disruption, and studying how black holes affect objects in this way provides valuable insights into the nature of gravity and the behavior of these mysterious cosmic entities. Fact 170, the largest asteroid in the solar system is Ceres. Ceres is the largest object in the asteroid belt, located between Mars and Jupiter, and is classified as both an asteroid and a dwarf planet. With a diameter of about 940 kilometers, 584 miles, Ceres makes up roughly 25% of the asteroid belt's total mass. It was the first object discovered in the asteroid belt, in 1801, and it is large enough to have a round shape, unlike many smaller, irregularly shaped asteroids. NASA's Dawn spacecraft studied Ceres in detail, revealing that it may have a subsurface ocean of liquid water beneath its icy crust, raising intriguing possibilities about the dwarf planet's potential for harboring life. Fact 171, Jupiter has the most moons in the solar system. As of recent counts, Jupiter has 95 confirmed moons, making it the planet with the most moons in the solar system. These moons vary greatly in size and composition, ranging from large, icy worlds like Ganymede, the largest moon in the solar system, to small, irregularly shaped moons that are likely captured asteroids. Some of Jupiter's moons, such as Europa, are of particular interest to scientists because they may harbor subsurface oceans beneath their icy crusts, which could have the potential to support life. The discovery of so many moons around Jupiter highlights the incredible diversity of celestial bodies that exist in our solar system and the complex gravitational dynamics of gas giants. Fact 172, stars can explode as supernovae. When a massive star reaches the end of its life, it can explode in a spectacular event known as a supernova. Supernovae occur when a star has exhausted its nuclear fuel and its core collapses, leading to a massive explosion that releases an immense amount of energy. This explosion can outshine an entire galaxy for a short period and can leave behind a neutron star or black hole, depending on the mass of the original star. Supernovae also play a crucial role in the universe's evolution by spreading heavy elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron into space, which are necessary for the formation of planets and life. The study of supernovae helps astronomers understand the life cycles of stars and the distribution of elements in the universe. Fact 173, the universe is expanding. One of the most important discoveries in modern astronomy is that the universe is expanding. This was first observed by Edwin Hubble in the 1920s, when he noticed that galaxies are moving away from us, and the farther away they are, the faster they are receding. This observation led to the formulation of Hubble's law and provided strong evidence for the Big Bang theory, which suggests that the universe began from a singular point and has been expanding ever since. The expansion of the universe is driven by a mysterious force known as dark energy, which makes up about 68% of the universe and is causing the expansion to accelerate over time. Understanding this expansion is key to exploring the future evolution of the cosmos and the ultimate fate of the universe. Fact 174, Saturn's rings are disappearing. While Saturn's rings are one of the most iconic features of our solar system, they are not permanent. Scientists have discovered that Saturn's rings are slowly disappearing due to a process called ring rain, where the icy particles from the rings are being pulled into Saturn by its gravity. This rain occurs when the particles are electrically charged by sunlight and pulled along Saturn's magnetic field lines into the planet's atmosphere. NASA estimates that the rings are losing material fast enough that they could disappear within 100 million years. The study of Saturn's rings provides insights into the evolution of planetary ring systems and their eventual fate. Fact 175, the Sun will eventually burn out. The Sun, like all stars, has a finite amount of fuel. Currently, the Sun is in its main sequence phase, where it fuses hydrogen into helium in its core. This process will continue for another 5 billion years before the Sun runs out of hydrogen. At that point, it will enter the red giant phase, expanding to many times its current size and engulfing the inner planets, including Earth. Eventually, the Sun will shed its outer layers, leaving behind a dense, hot core called a white dwarf. Over billions of years, the white dwarf will cool and fade, effectively marking the death of the Sun. Fact 176, Uranus has rings, but they're faint and dark. While Saturn is famous for its bright, extensive ring system, Uranus also has rings, though they are much fainter and darker. Uranus has 13 known rings, primarily composed of icy particles and dark material that reflect very little sunlight, making them difficult to observe. These rings were discovered in 1977, and they are thought to be relatively young, possibly formed by the collision of moons or other objects orbiting Uranus. The rings are narrow and widely spaced, unlike Saturn's wide, bright rings. The faintness of Uranus's rings adds to the planet's many odd characteristics, such as its extreme axial tilt of nearly 98 degrees, which causes it to rotate on its side. Fact 177, there are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way. It may sound surprising, but there are actually more trees on Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way. Estimates suggest that Earth is home to approximately 3 trillion trees, while the Milky Way contains about 100 to 400 billion stars. This massive number of trees is distributed across the planet's forests, woodlands, and other ecosystems. However, the number of trees is steadily decreasing due to deforestation and human activity, highlighting the importance of conservation efforts to preserve the Earth's forests, which play a crucial role in regulating the climate and supporting biodiversity. Fact 178, Neptune takes 165 Earth years to orbit the Sun. Neptune, the farthest planet from the Sun in our solar system, takes a staggering 165 Earth years to complete one full orbit around the Sun. This means that since its discovery in 1846, Neptune has only completed one full orbit, which occurred in 2011. Neptune's great distance from the Sun, an average of 4.5 billion kilometers, 2.8 billion miles, means it travels much slower in its orbit than the inner planets. Despite its long year, Neptune's rotation is quite fast, with a day on Neptune lasting only about 16 hours. Fact 179, the farthest spacecraft from Earth is Voyager 1. Voyager 1, launched by NASA in 1977, is the farthest human-made object from Earth, currently located more than 14 billion miles, over 22 billion kilometers, away. In 2012, Voyager 1 became the first spacecraft to enter interstellar space, meaning it had left the heliosphere, the protective bubble of particles and magnetic fields surrounding our solar system. Voyager 1 continues to transmit data back to Earth as it travels through space, providing valuable information about the interstellar environment. Its mission has given scientists an unprecedented view of the outer planets and the boundaries of our solar system. Fact 180, the Earth's rotation is gradually slowing down. Earth's rotation is slowing down ever so slightly over time, a process caused by the gravitational pull of the Moon. This phenomenon, known as tidal friction, causes the Earth's rotational period to lengthen by about 1.7 milliseconds per century. As the rotation slows, the Moon is gradually moving away from Earth at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters, 1.5 inches, per year. In the distant future, this slowdown will result in significantly longer days and may eventually lead to a situation where one side of the Earth constantly faces the Moon, similar to how the same side of the Moon always faces Earth. Fact 181, the universe may be infinite. One of the most profound questions in cosmology is whether the universe is infinite or finite. Current observations suggest that the observable universe, which we can see due to the finite speed of light, is about 93 billion light-years across. However, the universe may extend beyond what we can observe, and some theories propose that the universe is infinite in size, stretching forever in all directions. If true, this would mean that the universe has no edge and that galaxies and stars continue indefinitely beyond what we can see. The shape of the universe, whether flat, open, or closed, also plays a role in determining whether the universe is finite or infinite, and it remains one of the great mysteries in modern astrophysics. Fact 182, the Hubble Space Telescope has captured some of the farthest galaxies. The Hubble Space Telescope has provided some of the most detailed and far-reaching images of the universe ever captured, revealing galaxies that formed less than 500 million years after the Big Bang. One of the most famous images is the Hubble Ultra Deep Field, which shows thousands of galaxies in a tiny patch of sky, some of which are more than 13 billion years old. These images have allowed astronomers to peer into the distant past and study the early stages of galaxy formation, providing insights into the evolution of the universe. The successor to Hubble, the James Webb Space Telescope, will push these boundaries even further, allowing scientists to observe even more distant galaxies and study the early universe in unprecedented detail. Fact 183, the solar wind creates the aurora borealis and aurora australis, the beautiful displays of light known as the aurora borealis, northern lights, and aurora australis, southern lights, are caused by the solar wind, a stream of charged particles from the sun. When these particles collide with Earth's magnetic field, they are directed toward the poles and interact with gases in the upper atmosphere, such as oxygen and nitrogen. These collisions produce glowing lights that can be seen in the night sky. The colors of the auroras depend on the type of gas involved. Oxygen produces green and red hues, while nitrogen creates blue and purple tones. Auroras are more frequent and intense during periods of high solar activity, such as solar storms and coronal mass ejections, CMEs. Fact 184, the Moon has quakes called moonquakes. Just like Earth has earthquakes, the Moon experiences moonquakes. These seismic events are caused by various factors, including the gravitational pull of the Earth, thermal expansion and contraction from the Sun's heat, and even meteorite impacts. Moonquakes are less intense than most earthquakes, with the strongest quakes reaching about 5.5 on the Richter scale. However, because the Moon lacks an atmosphere and tectonic plates, these quakes can last much longer than those on Earth, sometimes up to an hour. NASA's Apollo missions deployed seismometers on the Moon, which provided valuable data on its internal structure and the frequency of moonquakes. Fact 185, the Earth is not a perfect sphere. Although Earth appears spherical from space, it is actually an oblate spheroid, meaning it is slightly flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. This shape is caused by Earth's rotation, which causes the equatorial region to be pushed outward due to centrifugal forces. The difference between the equatorial and polar diameters is about 43 kilometers, 27 miles, making Earth's equator wider than the distance between the poles. This slight flattening has implications for gravity, as the force of gravity is slightly weaker at the equator compared to the poles. Fact 186, the Earth's magnetic poles are constantly moving. The Earth's magnetic poles are not fixed. They are constantly moving due to changes in the flow of molten iron in the Earth's outer core. This movement is part of a process called geomagnetic drift. The magnetic North Pole, for example, has shifted by over 1,500 kilometers, 930 miles, since it was first located in 1831. Currently, it is moving from the Canadian Arctic towards Siberia at a rate of about 40 kilometers, 25 miles, per year. These shifts in the magnetic poles can affect navigation systems, compasses, and even animal migration, as many species use Earth's magnetic field to navigate. In addition to this slow drift, Earth's magnetic field has also experienced geomagnetic reversals throughout its history, where the magnetic north and south poles switch places. The most recent reversal occurred about 780,000 years ago, though scientists are uncertain when the next one might happen. Fact 187, Venus has a runaway greenhouse effect. Venus is often referred to as Earth's sister planet, because of its similar size and composition, but its atmosphere and climate couldn't be more different. The atmosphere also reflects sunlight, giving the planet a bright appearance. Scientists believe that Venus may have once had oceans and a more temperate climate, but the runaway greenhouse effect transformed it into the hostile, oven-like world it is today. Understanding Venus's atmosphere provides key insights into the future of Earth's climate and the potential dangers of unchecked greenhouse gas emissions. Fact 188, comets have two tails. One made of dust and one of gas. Comets are icy bodies that originate from the outer regions of the solar system, but as they approach the Sun, they develop two distinct tails. One of these tails is made of dust, and the other is composed of ionized gas. The dust tail forms as the Sun's heat causes the comet's ice to sublimate, turn directly from a solid to a gas, releasing dust particles that are pushed away from the comet by the pressure of sunlight. This tail always points away from the Sun. The gas, or ion, tail, on the other hand, is formed by the solar wind, which strips electrons from the gas molecules in the comet's coma, causing them to glow. This ion tail is also pushed away from the Sun but tends to be straighter and narrower than the dust tail. Studying comets gives astronomers insights into the early solar system, as comets are thought to be composed of ancient material from the time of its formation. Fact 189, Jupiter's Great Red Spot is a massive storm that has been active for centuries. The Great Red Spot on Jupiter is the largest and longest-lasting storm in the solar system, having been continuously observed for over 350 years. This gigantic anticyclonic storm is about 1.3 times the size of Earth and has winds that can reach speeds of 432 km per hour, 268 miles per hour. While its distinct reddish hue remains a mystery, it is believed to result from chemical reactions in Jupiter's atmosphere, possibly involving sulfur or phosphorus compounds. The storm is located in Jupiter's southern hemisphere and has shrunk over the last few decades, although it is still an incredibly massive and powerful feature. Scientists are fascinated by the longevity and intensity of the Great Red Spot, as storms on Earth tend to dissipate much more quickly. Understanding how the Great Red Spot has persisted for so long could provide insights into atmospheric dynamics not only on Jupiter but also on other gas giants. Fact 190, the asteroid belt lies between Mars and Jupiter. The asteroid belt is a region of space located between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter that contains millions of rocky objects, ranging in size from tiny dust particles to dwarf planets like Ceres, which is the largest object in the belt. The total mass of the asteroid belt is relatively small, about 4% of the Moon's mass, and the objects are spread out over a vast distance. Contrary to popular belief, the asteroids in this belt are not tightly packed. Spacecraft, like NASA's Dawn mission, have safely passed through it without colliding with any of the large asteroids. Scientists believe that the objects in the asteroid belt are remnants from the early solar system that never formed into a planet due to the gravitational influence of Jupiter, which disrupted the accretion process. The study of the asteroid belt helps scientists understand the conditions of the early solar system and the formation of planets. Fact 191, Mercury has a weak magnetic field. Despite its small size and slow rotation, Mercury has a weak magnetic field, which is surprising given that Earth's strong magnetic field is largely attributed to its rapid rotation and molten outer core. Mercury's magnetic field is about 100 times weaker than Earth's, but it still helps to shield the planet from some solar radiation. Scientists believe that the magnetic field is generated by a dynamo effect, caused by the movement of molten metal in Mercury's core, similar to Earth's. However, because Mercury is much smaller, its core has cooled significantly, which may account for the weaker magnetic field. Understanding Mercury's magnetic field helps scientists learn more about the internal structures of planets and how they generate magnetic fields, providing insights into planetary evolution and the dynamics of the inner solar system. Fact 192, the Sun's core is where nuclear fusion occurs. The core of the Sun is where nuclear fusion takes place, the process that powers the Sun and provides energy to the entire solar system. At the core, temperatures reach an astonishing 15 million degrees Celsius, 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. The intense pressure and temperature allow hydrogen atoms to collide and fuse into helium, releasing vast amounts of energy in the form of light and heat. This energy slowly makes its way from the core, through the radiative zone and the convective zone, before being emitted as sunlight from the Sun's surface, known as the photosphere. The process of nuclear fusion in the Sun has been ongoing for about 4.6 billion years, and it will continue for another 5 billion years before the Sun runs out of hydrogen. Understanding nuclear fusion in the Sun's core provides key insights into the life cycle of stars and the conditions necessary for stellar evolution. Fact 193, Saturn's rings are made of ice and rock. Saturn's majestic rings are composed mainly of water ice, with particles ranging in size from tiny grains to larger chunks as big as houses. These ice particles also contain some rocky material and dust. The rings are believed to be remnants of comets, asteroids, or shattered moons that were torn apart by Saturn's strong gravitational forces. The rings are divided into several main components: the A ring, B ring, C ring, and others, with gaps between them like the famous Cassini division. Although they span 282,000 kilometers, 175,000 miles, in diameter, the rings are incredibly thin, with most parts being less than 100 meters, 328 feet, thick. The rings reflect sunlight, giving Saturn its bright, iconic appearance. Over time, Saturn's rings are slowly disappearing as material is pulled into the planet by gravity in a process known as ring rain. Fact 194, Mars once had liquid water on its surface. Mars, now a cold and arid planet, once had flowing liquid water on its surface, as evidenced by dry riverbeds, valleys, and minerals that could only have formed in the presence of water. Billions of years ago, Mars is believed to have had a much thicker atmosphere, which allowed for stable liquid water and possibly oceans. Today, water exists on Mars only in the form of ice at the poles and beneath the surface. Rovers such as Curiosity and Perseverance have found strong evidence that Mars's ancient environment could have supported microbial life. The discovery of ancient water on Mars has fueled hopes of finding signs of past life and has made Mars a prime candidate for future human exploration and colonization. Fact 195, the Moon was likely formed from a giant impact. The most widely accepted theory about the Moon's formation is the giant impact hypothesis, which suggests that the Moon was created when a Mars-sized object, often called Theia, collided with the early Earth about 4.5 billion years ago. The collision ejected massive amounts of debris into orbit around Earth, which eventually coalesced to form the Moon. This theory explains why the Moon's composition is so similar to Earth's outer layers, but with a lower proportion of iron. The formation of the Moon had profound effects on Earth, including stabilizing its axial tilt, which in turn helped moderate the climate and create the conditions necessary for the evolution of life. The collision also sped up Earth's rotation, giving us shorter days. Understanding the Moon's formation provides crucial insights into the early history of the solar system and planetary formation processes. Fact 196, Venus is often called Earth's twin, but its incredibly hostile Venus is often referred to as Earth's twin due to its similar size and proximity to the Sun, but its environment is vastly different and incredibly hostile. Venus's atmosphere is composed almost entirely of carbon dioxide, with clouds of sulfuric acid, creating a runaway greenhouse effect that makes Venus the hottest planet in the solar system, with surface temperatures reaching 465 degrees Celsius, 869 degrees Fahrenheit. The atmospheric pressure on Venus is about 90 times greater than Earth's, equivalent to being a kilometer underwater. Its surface is dotted with volcanoes, and the thick atmosphere traps heat, preventing the planet from cooling down. The harsh conditions on Venus make it impossible for life as we know it to exist there. Studying Venus helps scientists understand how planetary atmospheres evolve and offers a cautionary tale of how extreme greenhouse gas levels can impact a planet's habitability. Fact 197, the Milky Way will collide with the Andromeda Galaxy in 4.5 billion years. The Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy are on a slow collision course, and they are expected to merge in about 4.5 billion years. Both galaxies are part of the Local Group, a cluster of galaxies that also includes smaller galaxies like the Triangulum Galaxy. Despite the collision, it is unlikely that stars or planets will actually collide, as the distances between them are vast. Instead, the gravitational forces will pull the galaxies together, causing their stars to mix and forming a new, larger galaxy, sometimes referred to as Milkomeda. The merger will dramatically reshape both galaxies, and future civilizations, if any, will see a night sky filled with new stellar patterns. Studying galactic mergers helps astronomers understand the evolution of galaxies and the role these events play in the broader structure of the universe. Fact 198, the Oort cloud marks the edge of the solar system. The Oort cloud is a theoretical cloud of icy objects that surrounds the solar system, marking its outermost boundary. It is thought to be located between 2,000 to 100,000 astronomical units, (O), from the Sun, with 1 astronomical unit being the distance between Earth and the Sun. The Oort cloud is believed to be the origin of long-period comets, which take thousands of years to complete one orbit around the Sun. Unlike the Kuiper belt, which lies beyond Neptune and contains objects like Pluto, the Oort cloud remains largely unobserved because it is so far away. Scientists theorize that the Oort cloud formed from debris left over after the formation of the solar system, and its objects were scattered to these distant orbits by gravitational interactions with the giant planets. The Oort cloud represents the boundary between the Sun's gravitational influence and interstellar space, making it the solar system's final frontier. Fact 199, Earth's atmosphere contains layers that protect life. The Earth's atmosphere is composed of several distinct layers, each serving a vital role in protecting life. The lowest layer, the troposphere, extends up to about 12 kilometers, 7.5 miles, and contains the air we breathe, along with most weather patterns. Above it, the stratosphere holds the ozone layer, which absorbs harmful ultraviolet, UV, radiation from the Sun. The mesosphere is where most meteors burn up upon entering Earth's atmosphere, preventing them from reaching the surface. The thermosphere extends up to 600 kilometers, 373 miles, and is home to the International Space Station, ISS, and the auroras. Finally, the exosphere gradually fades into the vacuum of space. Together, these layers act as a protective shield, regulating Earth's climate, shielding us from harmful radiation, and preventing space debris from bombarding the surface. Fact 200, the Voyager spacecrafts are the most distant human-made objects. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, launched by NASA in 1977, are the most distant human-made objects from Earth. Voyager 1 is currently over 14 billion miles, 22 billion kilometers, from Earth, and it entered interstellar space in 2012. Voyager 2 followed suit in 2018, crossing the boundary of the heliosphere, the bubble of space dominated by the Sun's influence. These spacecraft were originally designed to study the outer planets, but their missions have continued as they journey into interstellar space. Both Voyagers carry a golden record, which contains sounds and images representing Earth, intended for any intelligent life that might encounter the probes. The data they send back continues to provide valuable insights into the boundary between our solar system and the wider galaxy, offering a unique perspective on space far beyond our planets. Fact 201, the Sun's energy takes thousands of years to reach the surface, while it only takes 8 minutes for light to travel from the Sun to Earth. The energy produced in the Sun's core takes much longer to reach the surface. Deep within the core, where nuclear fusion occurs, the energy starts as high-energy gamma rays. However, these photons bounce around, getting absorbed and re-emitted by particles in the radiative zone for thousands of years, often referred to as a random walk process. It can take up to 100,000 years for this energy to finally reach the surface, where it is emitted as light and heat. Once it escapes the Sun's surface, this energy, in the form of visible light, quickly travels across space and reaches Earth, playing a crucial role in sustaining life. This long journey of the Sun's energy from its core to space highlights the complexity of the processes occurring within stars. Fact 202, Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet in 2006. Pluto, once considered the 9th planet of the Solar System, was reclassified as a dwarf planet by the International Astronomical Union, IAU, in 2006. This change occurred because Pluto does not meet all the criteria to be classified as a full planet. While it orbits the Sun and is spherical in shape, Pluto has not cleared its orbit of other debris, meaning it shares its orbit with objects in the Kuiper belt, a region beyond Neptune filled with icy bodies and dwarf planets. The reclassification of Pluto sparked widespread debate and disappointment among the public, many of whom had grown up considering Pluto the 9th planet. However, the redefinition of what constitutes a planet allowed astronomers to better categorize and understand the many small, icy objects in the outer reaches of the solar system. Fact 203, neutron stars are the densest objects in the universe. Neutron stars are incredibly dense remnants of massive stars that have exploded in supernovae. These stars are so dense that a single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh about 6 billion tons on Earth. Neutron stars form when the core of a collapsing star is compressed to the point where protons and electrons combine to form neutrons. The gravitational force is so strong that these neutrons are packed into a space just 20 kilometers, 12 miles, in diameter. Despite their small size, neutron stars can have a mass about 1.4 times that of the Sun. Some neutron stars are also pulsars, emitting beams of radiation as they rapidly rotate. The extreme density and unique characteristics of neutron stars provide a fascinating glimpse into the final stages of stellar evolution and the extraordinary forces that govern the universe. As we come to the end of this fascinating journey through 200+ mind-blowing facts about space and the universe, it's incredible to reflect on the vastness of our cosmos and how much remains to be discovered. From the explosive power of supernovae to the tranquil yet mysterious expanses of the Oort cloud, we've explored some of the most awe-inspiring phenomena in the universe. We've learned about the runaway greenhouse effect on Venus, the formation of the Moon, and the potential for life on moons like Europa and Titan. These facts remind us just how unique and precious our planet is within the grand scale of the universe. If you enjoyed learning about the wonders of space, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on future live streams filled with even more incredible content. I'm already working on the next live stream, and trust me, it's going to be just as exciting, packed with even more fascinating insights into the mysteries of the universe. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you at the next live stream.